Welcome, one and all, to yet another episode of Wick TV. It's a cross-ideological space where we come together to talk about issues both political and cultural, from the silly to the serious. And gang, have we got a show for you today? You've seen a lot of left infighting for the past little bit, but today we have a treat for you. Dragon Fist here, who's setting up his camera. He's getting his tech to work. He's running a little late, but that's okay. He is a supporter of Trump. He is, would you consider yourself MAGA, sir?
Me?
Yes, you.
Just give me 1 second.
Okay,
give me 1 second.
he's doing his tech. He's doing tech. Anyway, he's on the right. He's very much on the right, and he's here to take on all comers, okay, on a variety of topics. Anything that you find disagreeable about his takes, anything that you want to challenge him on, this is versus the world. So we'll bring you on. Jump backstage. I got the link in my channel. Jump backstage, hop on in, and we'll bring you on, and we'll see how you do. It should be fun. Gang, if you were watching Hutch earlier today, you got a little bit of extra wick today. Soy Pill and I had a little back and forth on Hutch about the CDA event where Hassan got kicked out and all that. Or not Hassan got kicked out, I wish. No, I don't wish. I wish everyone would have been there and been able to discourse properly and had a fun time. But the where Hassan got people kicked out, we had a little bit of a disagreement there, and we also disagreed about. Again, he tried to take me to task for retweeting Fox News, and that was an interesting discussion. So go check it out at some point. So yeah. How's it going?
Almost ready. I'm starting
Almost
now.
ready. While we wait, why don't the rest of the people who are here introduce themselves? Mac, give us who you are. You're a pretty interesting guy. You do some pretty interesting YouTube stuff. Tell us about it.
I haven't done lately. I have a couple projects in the tank. I need to get one out soon. But yeah, I'm Mac from Macabre Storytelling on YouTube. I mostly do media analysis, films, television shows. But I also in the past have dabbled in discussing men's issues, which Wick has been kind enough to have me on in the past to discuss. So yeah, that's me.
Good guy. Check out his videos. Really love his analysis of various things. Worth a watch. Marlo.
Hi guys.
Who the heck are you?
I'm just a little guy. I was not a Democrat until about 6 months ago. And I moved left initially in like 2016. That's when I really started experiencing like legitimate pushback on the ideas that I did hold, which were not very well thought out. And so for the past 10 years, I've been just trying to like enter good faith disagreements and have my ideas challenged so that I can change my mind and get better. That's kind of the thing I like to do best.
Fun times. Okay. I've stalled. Okay, great. I was running out of things to stall. Okay, running out of ways to stall. Dragon Fist, man of the hour. Can you hear us?
I can hear you. Can you hear me, sir?
We can. Why don't you introduce yourself to my audience? Tell people who you are. What are some of your takes and thoughts on the world? And then, well, we'll get into it. And so here's how this is going to work. During the discussion, we're going to bring in, these are our anchors here, these two individuals, but we'll bring different people in as we go, cycle them out, and they'll be able to challenge you and have, opposition to some of your more spicy takes. We'll see. But go ahead, tell people who you are, what you do, and why we should listen to you.
Sure. My name is Andrew. I have a channel. It's called Dragon Fist TV. My mission is to fight the left wherever I can, so I do appreciate Wick having me on here, giving me the opportunity to do that. I'm sure we'll get into all the reasons why I want to do that tonight. But I did get an enormous amount of messages after the Destiny debate with people who were very, very upset with some of my takes. It seems that I really got under their skin, so I wanted to come back and kind of get an idea of why that was and what they thought I meant or was saying, and kind of maybe give some clarity on some of that stuff.
Okay, well, we have two lovely individuals here to start us off. Mac, why don't you give us what you got? Take it away. You wanted to talk to him about the Odyssey, I believe.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, Razor, if you've seen or Dragon Fifth, if you've seen the film, but me and Wick have been talking about it over the last couple of days, particularly sort of the right-wing backlash to the film, and sort of, I don't think it's so much about the film itself. I enjoyed the film. Others may not for different reasons. However, I think it is demonstrable of showing that there are certain influencers and people on the right that just have, when it comes to anything they deem um, as part of the culture war, they have an inability to accept reality. Like at first, it was going to be this film was going to be hyper woke, or it was going to be terrible. It was going to bomb, and after that was clearly not the case. The film got great reviews. It is doing incredible at the box office. We have countless influencers who are claiming it is actually no. They're actually like buying out full IMAX theaters despite evidence to the contrary. All the reviews are fake. It's all a huge conspiracy. Um, yeah, again, whether or not I don't know if you've seen the film Dragon, but I just wanted to get your take. How do you feel? How do you feel in terms of the right's response to this film and its successes?
Yeah, I mean, I guess we can categorize it as that coming from the right, that response. I mean, I don't think anybody was saying, and I'm not a film critic, but I am following it a little bit. I haven't heard anyone that I watch specifically say that it was going to bomb. So even this is a Nolan film, right? So like nobody thought that anything he touches isn't going to bomb. And those IMAX theaters that you're talking about, those were sold out like a year ago. So this has been sold out. Like, so we knew. I don't think anyone was expecting a bomb. We just wanted to see, or people just wanted to see, from my opinion, how much of a dent this idea. It's funny that you mentioned like reality, right? Because it seems like this. It seems like a troll almost. It seems like they're trolling exactly what you're talking about. Like I would throw the question back on you that when like someone like you or someone from the left that asks why are you upset about this like you don't live in reality while while they talk about things like inclusion and like having people's stories told and they don't have one Greek person cast in the movie, not one, not so that to me seems like intentional. That's my point. I think that's why they're upset. That seems like an intentional, like fuck you. Like we're not even gonna hire one, but we're gonna tout all these like rules for thee, not for me type virtues. That's why.
Well, in terms, so are you saying that Christopher Nolan and specifically did so as sort of like a troll, as because I have heard this. This is something I've heard many times that film studios are, when they cast either minorities or people of color or women in certain roles, they're doing so intentionally to sort of uh, like poke you in the eye, poke Republicans and conservatives in the eye. Do you think that was a motivation behind Christopher Nolan's casting decisions?
Can't really speak to why Nolan did this or like what his motivations were, but he clearly did. Like, I'll ask you again. Like, what do you think the reason is that they didn't cast a single? Do you think that's right that they didn't cast a single Greek person?
I don't think it's either right or wrong. As for why they didn't, I don't think that most Hollywood. This is actually sort of the irony that I hear a lot from, not irony, but sort of like the counter I hear from a lot of conservatives that say that there's this huge conspiracy on the left to cast minorities or to like change the culture and to sort of like flip off conservatives. I actually think in the grand scheme of things, most Hollywood executives and producers, directors could give less of a shit about that. A perfect example was back with like the Star Wars films, when Kathleen Kennedy was coming out and saying the future is female and it's a new Star Wars. And then she proceeded to not give, I don't think even a single female director ended up directing any of those, the big three Star Wars films. So yeah, I actually think that conservatives are kind of right and wrong in the sense that it really, I just don't really think it is like this big conspiracy to try to change the culture. I think for the most part, Hollywood executives are interested in money and
Yeah. Can I just can
I,
I just ask, what notable Greek actor would you have liked to see cast in it?
I don't have a like one handy, but there's been a couple pretty good like reels on Instagram of like the entire cast with Greek actors. It's looked a lot better. And to me, you are sending a message. I know what's the guy next to me's name?
Mac.
Mac. You're certainly sending a message when like, especially with a character like Helen of Troy. You're sending a message when you say this is the most beautiful woman in the world that launched 1,000 ships. Like whether or not you want to, you are saying something. Like you're at least saying like you think that this woman is close to or in the realm of the most beautiful woman in the world if you're casting her in that role, right? Being that that's what the role calls for.
Are you saying
Yeah,
Lupita
dude.
Nyong'o isn't the most beautiful woman in the world?
Well, I'm saying subjectively, that's what they're saying. I'm not making
Yeah,
any.
but I think this is the issue though. Is like, what is the problem? I mean, Lupita Nyong'o is incredibly gorgeous. So what is the issue in terms of?
There is no issue. I'm saying that
Uh,
there's a message there. That's what I'm saying. Like, well, there might be an issue for the right. I'm saying that's not what what I'm discussing right now. Because you were saying like, oh, there's no like hidden motive behind it to the right. Like, it doesn't have to be a hidden motive, but
What's the
there's a
motive?
motive.
Yeah,
Like,
what's
there's a
their motive
motive.
here? I'm curious.
Like, so there's no motive in casting.
Well,
We're
no,
asking what you
I'm
think it
asking you
is.
what
what
would be the
you think the
motive?
motive is. What do you think the motive is of them casting Helen how they did? Was there a motive? What was it?
Like I said, I think the whole thing is one big troll to like look at someone and say, like, we care about representation. And even on this press tour, I heard Lapita saying some stuff like if Homer was alive today, she would talk to him about the representation of women in the in the Odyssey. So I think that to me, that's hypocritical that you don't represent the people, the group of people that wrote this story, that gave you this great work that's lasted thousands of years. You don't represent them at all. But the people you care about today, they have to be represented or I'm going to be upset. It's like this giant, it's like pretend care. You don't actually care unless it's somebody that's like on your team.
I kind of, to some, again, I like I said, I kind of agree with you in that sense. I don't really think
Thank you.
that that was Christopher Nolan's. That's sort of what I'm saying is I don't think Christopher Nolan had that in mind at all. I think he cast Lupita because she's one, a gorgeous woman, and two, an Oscar-winning acclaimed actress. So it seems strange, and I want to make clear, personally, I think that if your argument is that there were no Greek actors in the film, I think you could make that argument, particularly if you were someone who is in the past criticized other films for that reason. However, I want to make very clear that this was an absolute non-issue before the film was released. That was primarily targeted at one, the casting of Lupita Nyong'o as Helen of Troy because she's black, and the casting of Elliot Page, which was I heard absolutely nothing about Greek representation prior to the film's release. People didn't seem to have a problem with Anne Hathaway, Matt Damon, or any of the other white actors. But as soon as the film came out and it was all of a sudden a rousing success, all of a sudden it became about, and then to kind of throw that back at you, for all the people, I agree that if you're a hardcore leftist who has been complaining and upset about representation, and now you're suddenly okay with the Aussie, that is absolutely, I think that is 100% hypocritical. However, I would turn that back on all of these conservatives who were saying, who in the past, used to think that people were cringy, like who cares? Like right now they're glazing Troy, even though that film I don't think had a single Greek actor in it, or maybe it had a few, but the primary cast, none of them were Greek at all. So I agree with you that I think a lot of these leftists are being hypocritical, but I think plenty of these conservative commentators complaining about the film are also just hypocritical.
Yeah, but how I didn't really get how exactly they're being hypocritical because it seems to me like if there was less women in the movie or like let's say it was a story that came out of I don't know exactly where
Less
Lupita's
women.
from.
I'm listening. Go ahead.
Yeah, if it was a story that came out of wherever country Lupita Nyong'o is from, if it was her cultural heritage, I think she would care very much if not a single person from from that heritage was cast in the movie. That's my point. I think she would. So what I'm trying to get at is what is the difference? Like, what is the difference? Why this group over here, it doesn't matter if they get representation, but this group, it matters very much. Like, why? That's what I'm saying. Like, I would at least try to be fair across the board. I really would.
Sure.
Like, I
We're
would
gonna
never say
yeah,
that.
yeah. Once you finish, we're gonna let him respond, and then I want to get other people in here. But go ahead.
Sure.
Go ahead. You can respond to that, Mac.
Oh yeah. No, I completely agree with you. I think that if it's either whether it was either Lupita saying it or other leftists or whoever, if you are someone who is like, hey, if we're telling a certain story in a certain historical context, we need to make sure that we represent those people correctly. I absolutely agree. I think people on both sides of the aisle are hypocrites. My issue is that, and because what you're saying, I believe, is that you're calling out the hypocrisy of those people, which I totally agree. But the problem is that like now we're seeing all these conservative commentators saying the film is bad. They're not just saying, oh, leftists are hypocrites. They're saying the film is bad because it's not honoring, Greek culture. It hasn't cast anyone of Greek heritage. So I'm also calling out those people and saying, well, now you're being just as hypocritical because in the past this was something you said was cringy and you didn't give a shit about, but now all of a sudden it's really, really important. But the main takeaway is that I don't think Christopher Nolan and his casting, again, kind of going back to the previous question, I don't like, we haven't really answered the question, like, what is Christopher Nolan's? I just think he casted the people that he thought would be best for the roles. I don't think he really, now you can criticize him for that, for not taking into account, you know,
Diversity,
Greek
equity, and
actors.
inclusion. Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't think that, like, if, again, there's a jump between saying that and he has this, like, this scheming, motivation and to
Gotcha.
destroy Western culture or something.
Okay. Here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna read a few super chats at you about this topic, and then we're gonna move on to Marlo. See what she has to say. So first of all, $10 from Evil Elrond. I'd love to confront him, but I'm banned from the Discord. I'm the guy who called him a liar and told him to self-delete in the last debate. He did. I'm happy to hop in and justify myself. I don't know if I want to have you on if you're going to tell my guests to kill themselves.
Thank you.
Just don't know if I want that. $5 from Let Icarus. Ask the Sister Fister if he thinks people from ancient Africa didn't travel to and live in ancient Greece. That's you, Dragon Fist, I believe.
I think that they traveled to and lived in ancient Greece. I'm sure they did. I don't see why that means that not a single, like, how does that make it okay that not a single Greek person, again, like my analogy stands that if it was a story out of Africa, even if white people moved there, if you didn't cast one single black person, it would be fucked up. I'm saying that would also be wrong. Like I wouldn't, it does. I don't know. I hope that answers your question. I don't think that factors in any way.
$5 from Zephyrhash. They should cast Dan Crenshaw as Cyclops for historic realism. Okay.
There you go.
$10 from Numinax. Homer never provided a detailed description of Helen, nor do we even know if Helen even ever existed. She's talked about 10 plus times throughout 24 fucking books. New topic, please. We're gonna get to it. $2 from Keep Your Bliss Bilsteins. The ancient Greeks would have never cast a woman. True. $20 from Rock Hard Slab. Name 2 Greek actors you would have rather seen.
Is he asking me?
Yes.
Again, I already answered this question. I'm not like, I don't have the Greek actor like roll call here, but I'm sure you could have that's my point. Is like you keep want to bring up like, oh, Helen, there's no description of her or this, or like that even matters. It's not the point. Like because they didn't cast one single Greek person. Like you would have that argument. That's why I feel like it's a troll, because he like took this argument away from you. Because like not one. So like that's, I don't know, to me more important.
Okay. Marlo, you had some stuff for our friend here. Go ahead. Give us what you got.
So first, before I ask you the question I want to ask you, I just want to make sure I understand part of your position in the previous debate that you had with Destiny. It kind of sounded to me like when we were talking about doing good humanitarian, moral, helpful stuff in the world, that it kind of seemed to that you had this idea that like people should help people, but that governments shouldn't engage in that kind of stuff. And wait, is that, do you feel like that's a fair like read of kind of your performance there in that debate?
Now, really, what I was saying is that there's no way of tracking this stuff, or if we are capable of tracking it, it doesn't. It's not in a way that would be satisfactory to me to
Okay.
assume that the monies are going where they're earmarked for going. That was more of my position.
Okay. And so like when we talk about evidentiary standards for like the outcomes of aid delivered, like one of the favorite talking points during the whole original US aid controversy was the like condoms for Hamas, right? Um, and
Yeah.
so like you appear to have like a really high evidentiary standard for good outcomes from aid. You'd appear to have a really low evidentiary standard for accusations that aid is corrupt and fraud. Can you help me understand how it's possible that you can accept a claim of bullshit aid without any evidence at
Just
all, but you
housekeeping
need
thing.
like
No slurs. Marlo, you're in charge. I gotta get something. My dog needs
yeah,
Gotcha,
to
Wick.
hold on.
No worries, man.
like it seems like you don't need evidence to believe that aid is bad, and then you need like concrete, scientifically proven, peer-reviewed, journal published evidence to believe that aid is good. Why?
No, that's not necessarily. So, in order to explain this, I have to break down like the entire apparatus that's going on because it's
Is
all
that too hard for
connected.
you?
No, this is what I mean. If I can't even get out my first sentence, there's no way I'm going to get through the entire thing, but I will make an effort for you. What I'm saying is that when programs are earmarked for, and this is what I mean, you can't even say, as soon as I say the word, this is an example of it. If I say a program is earmarked for LGBT rights or trans rights or anything like that, immediately I'm called a bigot. This does two things. It's actually extremely effective. What this does is one, it's an emotional manipulation in getting someone to vote for that policy. Because, oh, you don't care about this group, you bigot, like you vote for this if you care about people. Oh, I care about people, so I'm going to vote for it. That's the first thing that it does. The second thing that it does is it acts as a shield against any scrutiny of those policies. We saw it in my debate with Destiny. You see it in the comments after that debate. So it's a very effective tactic when it comes to if you wanted to commit fraud, right? It would be very effective to have less people scrutinizing your program because you had this shield to call them a bigot if they do. So you don't actually have to get on the issue of what's going on. You can go to this social thing of shaming in order to stop me from talking. So it's a very, very effective tactic. I don't think the people that are implementing it are even the ones that, I'm sure of it. They're not. You probably don't even realize this is going on. That's why it's so insidious. Now take that, and if they're actually not helping those people, that's fucked up. They're just using you. So if I believe that, now why do I believe that that's true? You asked me for evidence, right? The evidence that I have that that's true is I can look at what people were promised in this country when it comes to diverse groups like that and what's been delivered since the 1950s or 1960s. And I brought sources. I can tell you the sources. I have them here if you want to know. Like, for example, one community that's historically voted for Democrats since the civil rights, since the 1960s, is the African American community. Nothing has gotten better for them. Where they went from, or I don't want to say nothing, a lot of things have gotten demographically worse for them. So where they used to have a 25% single mother household, they're now up to 75%. And I can give, do you want the sources or do you trust that that's a true stat? I can give you
I'm fine operating under the assumption
yeah,
that that's true. I'm fine with that.
thank you. Okay, I
For the
appreciate that.
purpose of the conversation.
And then what that means is once you take the father out of a household, there's also studies that show some say 2 times, some say 2 to 3 times more likely that person will end up incarcerated before they're 30 years old. So when I look at one group, I'm wrapping it up, and thank you for letting me get through the whole thing. That's being earmarked for this type of voting block, right? They're saying we're going to take care of this group, vote for us, or you don't care about them, and then nothing gets better. I can give you other examples of other groups too, and then nothing gets better for them. What does the evidence tell me?
I'm gonna let you respond, but once you respond, we are gonna start bringing in more people as well and up the ante for Mr.
All right.
Mr. Dragon
Um,
here. Go ahead.
I would argue, my friend, that one metric of people's life getting worse does not prove that other metrics are also deteriorating. For me, I need a little more than that. But with regards to things like USAID, I wanna reiterate that what I'm hearing, especially in your previous debate and like kind of just in the Republican zeitgeist on these talking points, is that they are willing, and it sounds the same here, to accept at face value that sending contraceptives to a place where there is a war and like humanitarian crisis is a bad thing to do. And that it's not, like, with no evidence accepting that it is helping nobody, with no evidence accepting that it is just fraudulent. On the other end of things, needing some kind of absolute, irrefutable, videotaped, concrete evidence that that fraud, that aid, you got me, man, isn't being right. I don't think that Black Americans demographically have been, and you kind of admitted this, have been having a completely negative downward trend on every single issue.
Course
I'm
not.
also not seeing federal aid programs earmarked specifically for Black Americans to improve specifically Black Americans' lives. I'm definitely seeing, like, we saw demographic policies when it came to like school admissions. We saw demographic policy, and like a lot of people have a lot to say about demographic policies. But when we talk about federal aid, humanitarian aid, it just sounds like you don't want the government to do it based on the inconsistency. So,
And to be clear, I just want to make it sure everyone here in the call can talk on these topics. So Mac, you don't have to feel like you're sitting there like just on the sides. Does that make sense?
Gotcha. Yes.
Answer. You can answer if you
Oh,
want.
it's me?
Yeah, yeah. She asked you. She made a statement. Do you have
Okay,
a rebuttal?
Sure. So again, it's not that I don't think we should send any money for aid. I just don't trust that that's where the funds are going. That was my whole point. And no one is, the evidence is the results that I've seen. If you look at
what results, my
that
friend?
are, I'm going to tell you, places that are historically run by Democrats, like we can look at cities, and I'm sure you can find some metrics that will say, oh, they got better in this area, they got better, like fine. But like I would say Baltimore, inner cities of Baltimore have not really gotten better since they've been voting for Democrats. Why not try something else? That's my point. Let me fix the camera. So that's what I'm saying. We can look at
Such as
promises made to these groups and then what I consider not fulfilled, and say that, use that as evidence that what they're saying is incorrect, especially overseas. I can give more examples.
can you, like, what aid programs are you talking about being delivered to Baltimore?
Well, when they elect their local leaders, they're electing
No,
them hopefully to expect that their lives get better. Isn't that the point of electing local? Like you're going to elect your local leaders and just let them destroy your city. Like your city's not going to get any better. It's going to get, so then they don't understand the point of voting. Is that what you're saying? Like, why
no,
are they
I'm saying
voting?
that there's a clear, not confusing distinction between policies in a municipality, right? Municipal codes, social safety net programs, that is
Sure.
clearly distinguishable from an aid program, like a humanitarian aid program. People in the United States of America do not receive humanitarian aid because people in the United States aren't going through humanitarian crises because we live in a great country.
Yeah. What about like homelessness?
Right. That would be a huge aspect of aid that
Let's
I'd
look
love
at
to see.
California. $200 billion or something like that a year earmarked for homelessness. It never gets better by any metric. Like those people should at least be fired, right? The people that hold those administrative jobs that they get paid hundreds of thousands of dollars a year in order to facilitate helping those homeless people.
It's just
Should
a
those
vibes
Democrats be
conversation that is
fired?
not getting better though. Like
Uh,
So
you're
just
accepting
to be
face value.
I'll fix
just
it.
to be
Give me the
clear, just
money.
hold
I'll
on,
fix
just
it.
if I may, it's 900 million a year, not 200 billion.
Thank you.
Thank you for the
Just
correct.
in
That
California.
sounds right.
Yeah.
Maybe it's that over the total of some administration. Fine. I'll take the correct. Even if it is that, I rescind what I said, 900 million a year. My point still stands that nothing is getting better. So like,
You are
should
accepting that
those
as a
people be
vibes-based
fired?
statement because it is a top-down MAGA talking point that California is some kind of wasteland. You don't have evidence that it's gotten any worse or better whatsoever.
Homelessness numbers are not getting significantly better.
Show
They're
me the
still over.
homelessness
I
numbers
can
that
get
are
you the
that are
numbers.
leading you to believe what you have to say about it.
I
Do you
can
feel the
I
Like
same way
my
about
point is
poor
that you're
rural
willing to
communities?
accept like a
gave you an
total
example.
like you're just willing to take it at face value that they're not working with no stats, no nothing, and that but you're not willing to
Oh, I
accept
can get you the stats.
evidence that anything does work. Go for
And I
it.
said before, I have sources. I'll pull them up if you like. You can.
Always.
I'm not making it up that homelessness is. We can look up the source and see. So if it's the
So
case
I could just
that
tell
it's
you.
that it's not getting significantly better, if that's the case, would you then say that those Democrats need to be fired that are administrating that project?
So just real quick, in California since 2015, homelessness has seen a 60% increase. So,
Very fair.
but
Look at that.
but it
I
has
knew it.
dropped. It has dropped from 2024 by 3% in 2025. So it is trending down at this point, but it was trending up for quite a while. Now it's on the downtrend. Those are the
Wick, do you
those are
have
the
the stats on the like population increase nationally in our country since the 60s?
it's the 60s. Let me look.
Most of this should be per capita anyway. I don't think it's going to be just overall homelessness.
Dragon, while they're looking that up, so if we were, or if I were to just personally grant you that the policies in place in California are not having, if not any effect, if not a strong enough effect to warrant the cost we're putting into it, what sort of programs would any right-wing or MAGA or conservative politician, what policies have they promoted that would address the problem if the people of California decided to change their tune on the Democrats?
I think it's even more insidious than that, man. We don't even have to look to Republic. Like the Democrats can do it. You know how we know they can do it? Because they did it when Xi Jinping came to town. He came to San Francisco and they cleaned it up. Like within a week or something of him coming there, they had the homeless people out. The city, the streets were clean. Like people couldn't. There's still videos
I'm just curious.
online of it.
How did they clean it up?
How did they? That's my question.
Well,
Did
they
like,
did. They
move
moved.
them
Why don't they
I'm
keep
gonna
it
be.
like
I'm gonna be
that?
real with. They didn't clean them up. They just moved them out of the city. They packed them
Just
up in
move them
buses
from point
and
A
moved
to
them
point B.
another
The
city.
homeless people are
Why?
hopefully still alive.
Yeah, I don't think they killed them.
No, I didn't say that. I didn't.
Yeah, no, I know
Well,
you
you
didn't.
did
I'm
say that
just
the
saying that's
problem
how
was
they did
solved
it.
magically just because Xi Jinping couldn't see them, right? So like what we're asking for is like some kind
They
of
kinda gave
intellectual
them somewhere.
honesty about the fact that homelessness is a nuanced problem that affects people's civil liberties and that is not simple to solve, right? Like people are talking we lower the threshold to like institutionalize somebody. Like you can't like to
I
me,
didn't
what
say
I'm
that.
hearing when
I didn't say that. I said, should the
I didn't say
people
you
be
said that.
fired that are facilitating helping these? Do you want them helped or not? Because these people are not really helping them. That's what I'm saying. That's why I keep bringing up, like, can we try something else? Like,
But
maybe,
what
like,
is
No,
that
like try
something else
something
the
else is great.
Republicans
That's
are
fine for
putting
me.
forth?
Hmm.
My
so
problem
Just
that's
is
why I
when
was
it comes
asking,
to
what
stuff
did
like
they do?
USAID,
Ed, I'm
where you
listening.
just wholesale canceled the program instead of like, because right now what I'm hearing is, oh, we should try a different program. I'm all for experimentation and finding something that works.
Hmm.
But that doesn't appear to be the MO right now. The MO appears to be just cancel it and, fuck those homeless
Okay,
people.
I'm gonna let you respond, Dragon Fist. Last word on this, and then I want to get the other people in here. Go ahead.
The only evidence that I really look at is like results, especially when it comes to things like this, like policy. I mean, everyone can talk, right? But I can pretty much tell, not 100%, but I can tell even like who governs the area I'm in by like looking around. Why is that? Why is that? Why is it that I can open my window and I know a bunch of Democrats don't govern my area? So like that answer, like
Because everybody has
like,
diabetes.
it's because they want to. That's my point. That was my whole point here. Like when Gavin Newsom wanted to impress Xi Jinping, he cleaned it up. Like where did he put them? I don't know, but he put them somewhere. He didn't kill them, like you said. He didn't unalive them. So like something can be done to clean up the streets. Why is it that this is how they want the city to look? Why is that? That's what I'm asking.
Okay, I want to give
What's
it
your
to
best guess?
Usurp, then Rinyald. Usurp and Rinyald, welcome to the show. Go ahead.
Thank you very much, Wick. If you were to just like give like put yourself in the mind of Gavin Newsom and try and give like an somewhat honest answer. What do you think your best guess as to why? Because I mean, you've asked that question a couple times. Why do you think that if they somehow fixed the homeless population with G coming into town? Why just not fix it or keep it
That's where
fixed?
I'm
Like,
at.
why would they reverse it?
Well, it seems to me like it's the perfect, like I said, people have, and this is something that you don't have to take my word for it. Like, this is something that can be checked. Like, people have administrative jobs in order
Mhm,
to fix this problem. They paid
mhm,
some of them a couple $100,000 a year.
mhm.
What benefit is it to that person to actually fix the problem? So, like, if these are people installed by Newsom's administration, I'm not saying that the other side doesn't. I'm just talking about one thing because you asked me a question, so
Mhm.
I'm
So
answering it.
I guess I would say that like if you're talking about like, oh, why would the person who has $100,000 job want to actually fix the problem? Well,
Two
I
hundred
would
and fifty
counter that.
thousand dollar job.
Or yeah, or
Why do they
200
want
or
to lose it?
300 or 500. But I'm just saying like homelessness is a pretty big problem in California. And I would imagine it actually like puts a pretty large dent in their local economy. I'm pretty sure there's a bunch of local businesses and companies within San Francisco and other major cities in LA that would prefer not to have homeless encampments near their streets. Now, if it's
Sure.
all about money, I feel like the businesses in California would have a bigger bankroll and would be able to fight people harder who are just making $200,000 and $250,000 a year. So if it's all about money, I feel like the financial incentive for the people who have the most of it would be to get them out. So if that's the case, if it's all about money, how come people who are only making $250,000 a year are able to outbid people who are making billions or who have billions?
Well, if the administration and I'm just using this as an example. We'd have to go through each person. They just announced some type of investigation or something that they found on Gavin Newsom with some type of wire fraud. I don't have all the details. This was like just announced, so they're going to be looking into it, I guess, over the next couple weeks. So like it's already seems that and it's not something that's exclusive to the left. I'm not saying, but if you have like your friends and family installed in these positions, one, again, you're less likely to scrutinize what they're doing there. All I'm saying is it doesn't appear to me like they should be kept in their jobs if it's
Mhm.
not getting better, because I actually would
Well,
want to help those people, not the
I think it's
people like
important to
facilitating it.
note that like homelessness is getting worse nationally, not just in California, and that it's getting worse slower in California than in the rest of the country. Like when we look at America, we have an American homelessness problem, and it's not just like it sounds like you're just nitpicking California because it's like the face of the democratic like institutions in this country, where like they're not failing any worse than any other states are, and like this is like a national issue. Like this is like it should be a fucking bipartisan issue if you ask me. But like what I'm hearing is like a missing the forest for the trees issue when it comes to like spending on this problem. Like when you spend on things that people need and when you spend to help people, you're not going to see like that money is just spent. You're not getting that money back. That money is for better or worse just gone. Whether it helps people or doesn't help people is up to those people, and it's up to the like it's being divvied to cities within California for them to do with it what they choose. So it's not like a California failure issue. Like it's just such a weird characterization and like such an oversimplification of the problem.
Mhm.
Wait,
And I always
so
think the money thing, like people like want to put the boogeyman on people who have money and saying like, hey, California, they're not going to fix this problem because there's people who have these jobs that make all this money. And I always go back. There's one example I'd like to hear. Do you believe in like the whole military industrial complex and how we get into wars because the people at the top make a lot of money? Like, is that a conspiracy you believe in?
I don't know if it's a conspiracy. If you're asking, is there companies that produce weapon systems that make money when countries are at
Yes, of course
war,
they
that
do that.
have in the government, that lobby in the government? Yes, that
And you
lobby.
think that those people have like a pretty big say and they are able to kind of push it over the edge sometimes if they really want to sell some Patriot missile systems? Like you think they have that power within the government?
Well, I think anybody has that power, right? Because like you don't need a specific power given to you by someone in order to, especially if you create and manufacture weapon systems, in order to do things like false flag attacks. You don't. No one has to designate you that power. Do I think that
Mhm.
they would do things that would cause conflict, even if they weren't real, in order to get conflicts going? Yes. I mean, we've seen examples of that with like the USS Liberty, right? Like where like false flag attacks gone wrong. And also what they wanted to do in the Bay of Pigs. They told Kennedy, like, we're going in there anyway. And he's like, don't go, because I'm
Wait,
not
who's
going in
they?
after you. I'm not going in after you guys. They said, we're going to land
Who's they?
soldiers. I guess it was the CIA. You know, I'm not getting into like hard facts here. I'm just telling you,
Okay.
you
Well,
know, yeah.
okay, so like going back to like the military industrial complex,
Right.
like in this
I do
whole
think
that
it's
like
real.
people with money and lobby the government, and if you have $1 million, you can get a bill passed or something. Like that's not how it works. Because like if you think about it, people who say, "Oh, the military industrial complex runs everything," that makes no sense. Because like, do you know the company Procter and Gamble?
I've heard of it.
Yeah,
But
they
we
make
just saw
diapers.
Thomas Massey. They put 20 million or whatever they did into his campaign, and he lost. Like,
Yeah,
so
but
money
Thomas,
definitely helps.
yeah, but like Procter and Gamble, they make diapers and they make shit for babies essentially. And basically, the market cap of Procter and Gamble is worth more than like the top 10 defense manufacturing companies in the entire United States or in the entire world, I think. Well, actually no, just the US. So it seems that like if these people in like are going to be getting all this money and pulling it together and like pushing the government in some ways, why do we not see like people trying to push us to have more kids and like make kids live longer and do all that, because this Procter and Gamble company has so much more money. Like, so when you are looking at all these people that have
Sure they
these
do.
jobs, yeah, but it just doesn't make like you're selective. It's the selective
Why wouldn't they
skepticism
be?
of who's bought off and who's not. Like,
They just don't have. You have to look at what their intentions
no,
are. Like, what are they trying to do? Get diapers on more
but you
people?
can do that for yeah. Why not? They're trying to get money.
Okay, but you
If
can
the
do
more
that in
diapers they sell,
less
the more money they
insidious
make.
ways than starting wars. Like,
What's that?
if starting a war is a guaranteed way to get my what is it that you're trying to say, that there
I'm just
isn't
saying, like, it's if these
a
people
financial
are
benefit?
so evil at like all of these companies, why do they never go to like the more profitable companies? Why are they selling missiles that are hard to sell because you only have one fucking customer, versus when you can sell diapers that you can sell to literally every single person on the planet? So why would this person like just work at the homeless group in California when they can work at another? Like, it just doesn't make any sense. It's
When
just
you
such an
take
easy
into account,
scapegoat.
I think I can answer it because I think I know what's going on here. Like, you're looking at, what's the name of the company, Procter and Gamble,
Yeah.
and looking at their, I guess, overall sales for just
Mhm.
their diaper company, I guess. Like, if you look at like Grumman, like or like one of these defense contractors, they get billions of dollars in contracts from the government. So I don't see and nothing's better than a government contract, right? To build F-35s,
They
B-2
still got to
bombers.
like deliver stuff. Like, it's not free money.
Yeah, but I'm just saying it's not free. It's much.
Like, they don't just get like $1 billion in the bank and they get to like walk home with it. They got to
No, it's
spend that
not
on the
that.
stuff.
I don't know if you've ever been in business,
I have.
but it's much easier when you have a client that you know is going to pay. All you have to do is write them an invoice, send it in, and they're going to pay. That's much better than chasing someone down like an individual client trying to get your money from them. It's much
But-
better. You know the government's going to pay. So now you
Aren't
have these-
people going to be fucking and having kids?
Yeah, but so what I'm saying is, if you count those government contracts that they get, I highly doubt. I have to see the numbers. Maybe Wick could fact check this. That they get more than the company. I don't know if it's Grumman or which one it is that makes the B-2 bomber and the F-35s. I highly doubt that's the case. That they make more with diapers.
I guess I want to give it
Yeah,
to
yeah.
Rinyald and let Rinyald get a little
Please,
in
yeah,
here.
sorry.
Right? He's been waiting for a
Thank
little
you,
bit.
Wick. Yeah, I'm just wondering, it seems like this is kind of a pervasive ideology when it comes to a lot of Republicans, whenever they just point out that something doesn't perfectly adequately run in a Democrat city and then just say any alternative is what I want. So who is it? Mac asked you a question. He said, what policies have the Republicans put in if the Democrats are running it so bad? And then you just said the Democrats are really bad, right? Like, it's just kind of the idea of like, if my phone is malfunctioning, the answer isn't to just like hit it with a rock, right? Any change is not necessarily good change. So I'm just wondering, like, why a move towards authoritarianism, why a move towards somebody like Donald Trump, who's incredibly incompetent on like 90% of things, is the way that we should be going instead of just different Democrats.
Well, one, that's a straw man. That's not what I said. What I said is something has to be done should you fire this person. That's what I was trying to get across. And second, I would ask you to keep the same standards that they're asking me, which is like, you made claims there, like Donald Trump is incompetent and one before that about the country. Like, can you provide any evidence for the claims that you make? Like what leads you to? Yeah,
I can. I just kind of would like the question answered. Like, what do you think? What are Republicans going to do that are better than the Democrats? It seems like right now you're just saying we need to hit it with a rock. You need to argue why your housing policy is going to reduce homelessness and why I shouldn't just hit it with a rock.
No,
Yeah, or I can
what are
phrase
you
it,
going to
she
do?
was telling me that there's no humanitarian programs in the country, so we can't make a correlation. We can't look at this as analogous. What I'm saying is that homelessness is that. So that was a good steel man, right? I'm not straw manning her position. That's a good a way to look at what's going on. That's what I'm saying is what happens when we send money to these programs, whether it's Democrat or Republican. I'm saying that we need to get a hold of spending. That's what I'm saying. So my position isn't to say, oh, this is how we're going to do it, or this. Like, I'm saying neither side really cares about the national debt. They don't really talk about it, and either side. And I think we should hold both sides accountable to it in the upcoming elections, whether it's the midterms or the presidential election after that, in order to fix this thing that I believe is an existential crisis. And I just don't think the government cares. Like, I don't think they care to fix the wage gap. I don't think they care. I think that they already have protocols in place where, like, to quell uprisings. Like, they don't give a shit about equity. That's my point. And I think that there's
like, what's the plan though? It just sounds like you're saying spend less money. You said you're interested in results, right? Spending less money isn't going to put homeless people in houses.
We have to start by replacing the people that aren't doing a good job and have the authority to fix it. That's the first.
Not how to fix
it.
That's the only thing that you can do. What's the plan? What's the plan?
Okay, so that's the start of the plan, right? You can't leave the people in place that are not fixing it and not replace them. That's the first thing that has to happen.
What model should Democrats follow? Is there a Republican city or town or area that Democrats should model their future on? Like what? Like, give us a good.
I think we should demand
a good
results
example
from all our politicians. Like, and we brought this up in the
what results?
Well, for example, if you also look at California, we brought this one up. It's like another troll. It just shows how much they don't give a shit. If you look at California and their high-speed rail, where they've gotten, it can fact check me, billions of dollars, and they've laid zero track. So should those people be fired? Like if it was your house and they were building you a house and like nothing ever got done and you just keep paying them money, how long before you're like, yo?
It's fire the contracts in here.
Hold on, one at a time. Let Ringwald, then Marlo, then Usurp. Go ahead.
Again, it's just like fire the contractors, hit them with a rock, right? Like, what is you're saying we need to move, we need to change to what? What are we changing to? What's the path forward?
The first people, and you say it's unacceptable that we don't see results here. The next people that get hired understand if they don't deliver results, they're going to get fired. And then then you have a quarterly review. I'm teaching you, I guess, how to operate businesses and programs effectively. Like, if
the CEO comes down and they say, change what you're doing.
No, I'm saying that you hire
I don't know
new experts.
You gotta change it.
Okay, who are we hiring
when you're not seeing results? It's really, you're making it way more complicated than it has to be to make it like this impossible problem that can't be fixed.
No, you are oversimplifying it.
We just want to know what's step 2. What's
why?
Step 2?
Because you
after
don't
you
like
hire
the
these
example
people
that I'm giving you where it's not working. So you say like, oh, there's no fixing it. That's is that your opinion that this can't?
We're asking you how to fix it. What do you want to fix it? You just keep saying change it.
No,
Dragon,
I'm telling you that the people have to be replaced.
Let Matt maybe Matt can help us out. Matt, give us.
Yeah, I think we need to. I think we're talking past each other. I think the question we have for you, Dragon Fist, isn't that I think most of us can agree that if a certain Democrat in office or a group of Democrats aren't enacting policies that are effective or as effective as you would like, it would be. I think that'd be a good idea to hold these people accountable or replace them with people who are going to get a better job done. The question we have then is that why should we, in your camp, why should we vote for Republicans then? Like, I'm all for like replacing them with different Democrats or Democrats have a better policy, but it seems like at the end of the day, if your argument is that, well, why not try Republicans? And it's like, well, because they have no plan. They just say, whether it's Ukraine or USAID, their entire philosophy is just stop spending money anywhere, but then, or we have to help people in our country, but then when it comes down to, the elections or, speeches, their entire worldview is just the Democrats are doing a bad job, vote them out. but then they don't actually offer the reason in California, whether or not you think they're doing a good enough job or a good job in general, it seems like the reason people keep voting for them is that because the Democrats, at the very least, are the only ones who are offering any sort of even forward-thinking solution at all, where Republicans just offer fuck Democrats or, what have you. So that question is that not, I think we're bridging the gap in the sense that, like, we agree if people aren't doing a good job, let's try to find new people. The question is, why should that in any world be Republicans or conservatives or MAGA?
And Dragon, real quick, just so we all are on the same page, raise your hand if you think if someone's doing a bad job, over time, they should be let go eventually. Okay, so we all agree with that. So amazing. Please, so
the question stands. Why should we choose a Republican over a Democrat? What do they offer?
Well, for the exact reason that what's this guy's name right here below me and down one that he just said. The exact what's your name, sir? I don't want
Yusuf, me.
Yusuf. That Yusuf just said. Which is they're not getting the results that I would expect if it was. Like, I want to see results in some type of
what Republican is
manner.
seeing from
Like, to
Republicans?
me, it seems like everything is getting worse. It seems like everything that they promised is a lie. It's just like it all came out in the 60s, right? This is what I'm saying. We have to go deep into this. I'll do it with you guys if you really want to.
Well, no,
Like,
hold on.
I do.
We
No, I'm
can.
super
Hold on. We
Sure.
can
Get it with a
skip all
rock.
that just real quick. He's
I'm trying to
asking
tell
you
the answer.
what Republicans are getting good results.
What Republicans are getting good results?
You're saying
Well,
everything's getting worse over time, right? Everything's worse.
Democrats are awful.
So we should vote Republican. But what Republican is getting good results in your opinion? And what are those good results?
the reason that I say that, what I'm looking at as evidence is I'm using the same evidence-based analysis, the same way I was looking at it for the 1 in 4 fathers in a African American community. I'm using the
Is
same
that
type
the
of
only
evidence.
stat you know, dog?
No, I'm using the same type of evidence. Like, see, you want me to be wrong so bad, you can't even let me finish my sentence. What
You're
I'm saying
not
is,
sounding very
mo-
bright. That's all. Keep
why?
going.
We're
Because
frustrated.
I understand that
Keep
you're
going.
frustrated. And it's frustrating also for me looking at these programs not work over decades and decades and decades. And people say, like, oh, well, why should we try you? Well,
What Republicans are getting results? Why should we
so
trust a
I'm
Republican?
trying to finish my sentence.
Go ahead.
So if we look back to a time when things were much before all these civil rights programs, when things were more conservative, we saw a better flourishing society. We saw people not, I'm telling you the metrics by which I'm judging it. So to me, when you have a society that's pushing programs that are the exact inversion of Christian morals, of Western civilization morals that built this program, that's why you're seeing the decay. So if any,
So you're saying it's a
so for
social
me,
issue.
anything is better than that because you're decaying society. That's why I say this is so insidious. I don't think you're doing it on purpose. I don't. I think it's a giant lie that was sold to you. Part of it, if you don't like the African American part, is feminism, right? A giant fucking lie that it's better to sit in a cubicle all day than to be a stay-at-home mom driving your fucking Range Rover and picking up
That's
groceries.
not what feminism
What
is.
Do we notice that?
a
My
fucking
turn.
load
My
of
turn.
bullshit
No,
that's
hang
been
on.
sold to you. What a lie.
Listen.
And you guys ate it up and said, yeah, I'm going to be a boss bitch. I'm going to, and now what do we have? This is my point. If we look since that started, what do we
Hey,
have now?
Dragon.
Women are
Listen.
the largest holders of debt
Dragon.
before they couldn't even have debt. They couldn't even have it.
Hey, Dragon.
Yeah.
You're
How's that better?
describing.
How's that
You're
better?
You're
How is that
describing
better?
cultural problems. Would you agree? Yes or no?
Politics downstream from culture. These two things affect each other.
That's not what I said. I said yes or no.
Some of them are policy
Are they
problems.
cultural issues? Yes or no?
I mean, they're getting
Fathers not being
promoted
in
at
the
an
home, women being in the
institutional
workplace,
level.
cultural or not cultural?
They are, but it's getting
Okay, so
instituted
they're
at an
cultural issues.
institutional level.
Right.
Yeah,
Do you think
but
that you can legislate people into changing their culture? Because
course
you
you
and
can
I
effectuate-
watched. Whoa,
That's-
hang on.
What do you think
You
you're
and
doing
I
with the
watched.
Odyssey?
Let
What do you
Marlo
think
go
you're
for a minute.
doing?
Let Marlo go
Wow,
for a minute.
you're not listening. You and I watched
ahead.
Democrats attempt to legislate culture from fucking 4, starting in and all the way through both Obama presidencies, all the way up through like the first Donald Trump presidency, right? What, you know, woke scolding people in the streets and DEI policies that you hate, right? And did it work? No, we're in Trump 2.0 now. I think it's really clear that trying to use law to influence culture is a fucking stupid thing to do. You and I are not stupid. We're not going to fall for that, right? So when we talk about there are real problems that need real help, and you're saying Republicans can and should fix it, but you're not able to point to a single time that a Republican has ever fixed a problem that we are pointing out. Did you know that all of the red, like when we look at the states with the worst education, the worst public health outcomes, the highest homelessness, those are all red states. And overwhelmingly,
with
the
blue
homeless
cities
population
in
of
there.
California, the homeless population of California is from red states. Californians are hosting and holding and caring for the dejected, rejected, and poor from the entire country. Where else would you rather be fucking homeless, man? In a place
I'm
where
not
you can
making
get
that
help.
claim. I'm just saying they're not doing a very good job.
They're doing
Dragon,
a
just
million times better of a job than any Republican state is doing, and that is why the homeless people are leaving the Republican states and going to
They're
California.
going there
Hold
because
on, I'm
they
gonna let
give
him-
them
I'm gonna let
shit,
Mac
and because it's by the beach. It's not,
respond,
you're
then we're
like,
gonna get-
again, you're
It's the weather, bro. It's the weather.
Yeah,
They
we're
don't
gonna give
freeze
it.
to death.
Hold on,
better
hold
to
on,
be
just real quick.
warm than freezing, isn't it?
We're gonna give it to Mac, and then I'm gonna read some super chats, and then we're gonna cycle out. So, Usurp and Rinyald, yeah. So go ahead, Mac.
So, Draken, you mentioned, I don't think we really got, unless I missed, I don't think we really got a satisfactory answer in terms of, say, what any Republican or conservative would do to help the homeless problem in California. But let's take the example you just brought up about feminism, about one of the big complaints on the Democrats or, leftists, what have you, is that they're very bad. And one of the main reasons a lot of people think that, Trump was elected in the first place, and I think rightfully so, is that a lot of Democrats don't know how to market or signal or empathize with young men. They don't really understand their problems or what they're going through or really how to reach them. And I, as someone who's spoken on these issues before, I entirely agree. I think a lot of Democrat efforts or leftist efforts are sort of misguided. The issue is that after Trump was elected, again, what did we see improve for young men under Republicans or conservatives? Their entire message was the Democrats don't understand you. They don't care about you. They're going to do nothing to help you. And now we're 10 years later, and it seems like things have only gotten worse for young men under the. So what policies or changes have Republicans or conservatives made that have helped the situation for young men?
Well, see, you're doing the same. You're asking me to do exactly what she said I couldn't do. So you're putting me in a position where, like, if I answer with policies, she's going to say, "Oh, but this is culture, and you're talking about policy, so you can't."
You haven't given us a policy.
So what I'm saying,
We've wanted
what they're
policies the
doing,
entire time, bro.
what they're doing is trying to affect the culture. It's the same thing that our side is trying to do. At least I'm being honest about it. Like, at least you can pull up a video of Andrew Wilson and Jake Rattlesnake from the other day where Andrew's saying, "I want to go to Turning Point. I want to make an effective change on the culture." At least he's willing to say it. Like, you guys are just lying about it. That's the worst part. Like, that's what the Odyssey is about. That's where leftism. So yeah, maybe you can't.
I think the Odyssey is about the Odyssey.
Let me finish. Maybe you can't put out. And she's laughing.
Because you're stupid, bro. This is
So
insane.
So what is Hollywood? Do you even know what the word why they chose that word Hollywood?
Probably
What does
has
that
something
mean?
to do with Jewish people.
What does that mean? No,
Right?
see, none of you even fucking know. You're calling me stupid, laughing, and you don't even know what Hollywood is.
I don't know the fucking Jewish Hollywood
Nobody
conspiracy
cares,
theory.
bro.
No, why don't you
No,
educate
but they're
us? Come on.
telling you what they're doing.
Why don't you tell us? No, we're
Hollywood is
ignorant.
the
Tell us.
material that they
Educate
use
us. Educate us.
to
Educate
make
us.
magic wands. They're
Educate
planning
us.
you a narrative. They're not lying. It's a story. They're giving you the narrative.
No shit,
They're
it's a
shaping
story.
the culture.
It's been a story for thousands of years, bro.
That culture is not affected by media? Is that what you're saying?
Who the fuck said that?
Have we
You're-
gotten to that point? So I'm saying that Democrats institutionalize. That's what I've been trying to say this whole time. It's in the institutions. I don't know why she doesn't understand.
Why do you mean like how? I need an example. I need an actual example. I need an example.
To get your and
I need an example.
education to get
Still
your
no
messaging
policies,
out.
by the way.
Okay, hold on.
Or Republicans with policies.
Hold on,
like
let
that.
him finish.
I
Let
said
him
that's
finish. Let him
exactly what
finish.
she's going to say, even though you started with the premise that you can't change culture with policy. So I'm showing you how they change the culture.
Culture
Because we want
changes
cultural
over
issues.
time
What the
through
fuck? What do you
society,
want
not
from
through
me?
policy.
They're telling you
blaming
what they're
government.
doing.
It's
It's
their
in the
problem.
name, Hollywood. They're telling you what they're doing.
Okay,
If
what
you're
hold
too
on.
dumb to
Wait,
see
hang
it-
on.
Hold on, hold on.
Wait.
Please, everyone. Give us an example of a policy that you feel has changed our culture.
I'm saying that I'm granting her that the culture is not effectively changed by policy implementation. I'm granting her that. And I'm telling you how they're changing the culture. Like these things are all connected. I tried to say
Well, my
that from the
point
very
wasn't that we
beginning.
should change the culture. My point is that if we have policies that help people, then we should do that, right?
Me
And that
too.
changing the culture should be parallel to having policies that keep people from being hungry and ill and, you know,
This
retired
is
with
an
no
emotional
income
blackmail,
and
like
homeless.
implying that I don't
No,
want
no,
that.
no, no, no.
I
They
do want
are.
that. Like I also want that. But if these people are lying and stealing the money, what
Yeah,
are we
if.
supposed to do?
Huge
I need a
if.
name.
Whoa, big
These
if,
people.
brother.
Huh?
You always speak in pronouns.
I don't know what
I hope and pray. I
You
hope and
only
pray
say
that this
them,
is the
they.
Republican. I hope and pray
Okay,
that
when I
this is
say
the
they and
Republican
them, I'm
Say
strategy
them
talking
going
about
pronouns.
forward.
That's woke. What the
That's-
fuck?
Dragon,
I
I think
hope
the
and pray.
issue is that
I hope and pray that this
Dragon,
is the Republican, ideal going forward, where it's just like, yeah, Democrats just want to keep doing the same, where they want to funnel money to homeless shelters to try and house as many people. They want to keep funneling money overseas to reduce, deaths overseas. They want to keep funneling money to infrastructure. And what we want to do? Nothing. We're just gonna say it's bad and hit it with a rock.
We want to fire those
fire.
people and hire
That's
better
fire.
people.
That's
Yeah,
not
so what do you
Okay,
want me to do?
okay.
Go out there and
What
fix it
kind of better
myself?
people?
Like you obviously don't know how administration
Wait,
works.
so
What kind
you
of
say
better
is it?
people?
Wait, hang on.
Okay,
Wait,
okay,
wait,
hold
wait.
on. All of you,
Any
all of you,
better
all of you,
role?
all
What
of
kind
you,
better
Is that
people?
all
what
of
public
you.
should we fire?
Hello. Okay, I'm gonna read some super chats, make some money, and then we'll get back to it. Okay, we reset a little bit. I get everyone's fired up, everyone's ready to go, but we gotta have some order in this court. $5 from the only Brian. This guy is just scared of being called a bigot while doing the FBI crime stats meme. What do single father households have to do with U.S. aid?
You want me to answer the question?
A $5 answer, if you please.
Yeah, I was just pointing out that she said there's no humanitarian program. So I'm just showing how we can take evidence, look at which side we can trust more. That's what I'm saying.
Okay. $5 from Spuds 9000. Kung Fool. Taekwondo. Jiu-Jit Pseudo Intellectual. Thank you for the $5. $5 more from Bad Horse to say this is for the Wick Yummy Ramen Fund. I did have Yummy Ramen earlier. Yummy. That was great. Thank you for the $5. $5 from Boars. Mr. Fister. Who do you trust for statistics when developing your worldview and why?
Well, most of the statistics that I gave are like government census data. I can tell you. But I'm trusting. I can give all the sources. I don't think anything I said was really disputed. If there's a stat that I gave that's highly disputed, I accepted Wick's fact check. So I don't know if anything I've said's been disputed.
Okay. $10 from the only Brian. Republican cities have better statistics on this because Republican cities do not exist. No. $10 from CBS Smith. I'm from California. Can you ask him what other states he would want to be homeless in? Is he aware other states buy bus tickets to send their homeless somewhere they won't freeze to death in the winter?
Oh, like what? I don't understand. Like, what does that have? Like, that doesn't do
I've never
anything for
heard
my
of that.
argument. Say,
It's
can we just
his
build them?
argument?
It's not
The
from
example
America.
trying to say that like the reason that California has an overwhelming homeless population is that people from all over the country move there because they're able to survive all year in like 70-degree weather. And
No
not
one
so
was
like not
disputing
every
that.
single homeless person that's in California
said
was a
that.
result of California's policies. Like we don't know
I
what
said
that
that.
percentage is, but not everyone is because California sucks. Someone from Montana went there because they didn't want to freeze in the winter.
I said that, and you guys laughed at me. I said they go there because it's
Bro.
warm, and you guys are like, oh, they go there because
So
it's
you
warm.
admit
That was a
that
few minutes
homelessness
ago.
in California
Now it's
has
your point.
nothing
That's
to
what I
do
mean.
with
You can't even keep
wait.
your
So you
thoughts
just
straight.
conceded.
You call me
What do you
an
think the
idiot.
odds are? You
Dragon,
misheard us
Dragon,
or
Dragon.
Yeah.
You just conceded that homelessness as a problem in California is not because of Democrat mismanagement, but because of extenuating circumstances like weather. So your whole
No, you're talking
argument
about a
fell
different
apart. Great
issue.
job.
What
Nice work.
caused it
Super proud
is
of you,
not my
brother.
issue. I never said a word about what caused. So you have to understand what we're actually arguing. That's important. I never said what caused.
Well, no, now you're just
Homelessness in
retreating from your
California. I
point.
never said people
It's
didn't
like
come
you're
from other
talking about
states.
how
I said
you
it's
need it to
not
be
getting
proven that it
significantly
worked.
better.
Yeah. So
The
yeah,
funds
your
that we're
arguments.
sending.
Okay.
That's what I said.
Okay. $5 from your mom's show. Okay. This guy is a tard that just keeps repeating the same talking points with no clue. He was off on the homeless budget in California by 99.9%, by the way. $20.
It wasn't the point, so it doesn't matter. Like the point
It is
wasn't
the
the see,
point.
you
What the
take things
fuck?
that aren't the argument and you try to dunk on people.
No, you just don't know what
only
the argument
dumbasses
is,
think
bro.
that's a dunk. I didn't
Okay,
have
okay.
the stat. I
Stop,
came on here to take any questions. I'm not like prepared with every stat that you could possibly have lined up here. I'm answering your
You
questions.
brought up
honestly.
California
Correct-
homelessness,
Yeah, it
dumbass.
doesn't
No one
matter what
expects
the
you to have
number
it.
is. It doesn't
This guy's
matter if it's
incredible.
900 million or 200 billion. It doesn't
It's just-
matter. The
we don't-
stats,
we're not-
the
we don't
argument
think-
is the same. It doesn't
It's
matter
not that
how
you
much
were
money
wrong
you're
at all.
giving
It's
them.
just
It
that,
doesn't
like,
matter. That's not a
we don't
dunk.
expect you to actually know like the exact number. I don't think anyone here like
That's
expects
what
that out of
dunking
you.
on me on.
It's just funny when you're off by 99.9.
I'm
That's
sure
the
it's
funny
kinda
part.
make it
hysterical.
yes,
If
too,
you're off by
you
like
know?
50%
So
or
funny.
even 100%, it's whatever. But like,
You could have asked what it was, but you said it
Okay.
with your chest. That's why it's
Could've.
funny.
Okay,
Could've. It
$20.
doesn't change the You're still wrong on the argument.
$20 for Montana flower farmer. The states with the worst health outcomes, education, teen pregnancy rates, and violence are almost all red states. Don't even try the Blue City argument because it's false. Please explain, Dragon Man. Wick, what's the value here? What's the value? Like what value? Which value? What value?
Of talking to Republicans, there is none.
Okay.
Trying to be fair, you just get so emotional and angry. That's why
I'm
this works
sorry.
on you, because like you get emotionally charged up about these issues, so
I'm
you can't think
crying.
clearly. I'm trying to come to a clear understanding that if this thing's not working, maybe we could fix it. What is so
You haven't
controversial
demonstrated
about
that?
that?
It's not working.
What is
That's
so
our problem.
controversial
No,
about that?
it's not
Well,
controversial.
they
You just
produce
haven't
narratives out of
demonstrated that it's not
Hollywood.
working.
What is
We're
so
asking you to
controversial
demonstrate
about
that
that?
it's not
Like,
working.
you
We're
can't
asking
even
you to
take the
demonstrate somewhere
simplest.
where it is working, and you just can't do that. And it's really embarrassing for you. I'm really sorry.
so
about that.
real
It's
quick,
not
are
really
you?
embarrassing for
Oh, sorry,
me.
Wick. If
Yeah,
you're still
I
waiting,
did.
super chats. I don't want to derail.
Yeah,
It
that's
isn't.
fine.
You don't know how to follow a simple argument. You're angry over nothing. You're angry because they
really,
can't fix homelessness. Like you haven't once touched on any of the things I said, and you're doing
Neither have you, my
exactly
brother.
the thing that I said in the beginning, which is using this as a shield for which to not discuss any other policies. Like
no,
what, you
you're
haven't
the one who's
offered
on
anything
trial,
either.
not
You just
Democrats.
want to like
Okay.
say, oh, go ahead.
Okay. $5 from Stanky
Well,
the
add
Clown.
on.
He's suggesting firing real contractors and hiring Ronald McDonald.
Did I? Like she
Five-
thinks that's funny. Did I? No, I said you hire someone, and if they don't get the job, you hire the next expert. If they don't get the job done correctly, you fire them as well. Like this is exactly how you would operate. I don't know what you're laughing about. Like what you want to just keep. You even said like, oh, we could just keep. It doesn't matter if the money goes and it works or doesn't work. No, it fucking matters. It does matter. It matters to those homeless people who you don't actually care about, and it matters to the taxpayers that are spending the money. It matters. That's what I'm saying. It's
But
not
Dragon-
that complicated.
You
Dragon-
just
You're turning
haven't
it into like something.
substantiated
Let
any
me-
claim that it's
yeah.
not working. That's our
Yeah.
point. And you also haven't substantiated any claim that it's working somewhere else.
Fact check
So
it.
like
It's
I'm
not
waiting
working. It's gotten better 3% in the last 2 years. I'm talking about a significant difference. Okay.
You know what?
So
Yeah,
what was wrong with
everything
that
is that
statement?
simple. Go right ahead.
What was
Wait,
wrong with
talking
that
for super
statement?
chats before I keep
You don't
talking.
like it because Wick fact checked it? Because Wick fact checked it? Like if like that's why you stopped your whole argument right there? Because when I said Wick already fact checked it, so you accepted it? Like he fact checked it. It's not getting better. That was my
Sure.
point. You didn't dunk on me. It doesn't matter if it was $1 spent or it was $1 trillion. It doesn't matter. The point is not getting significantly better. Somebody else should be implemented. That's the
Okay.
point.
What
Fine.
should be implemented is our point, right?
Somebody else, another
Okay.
expert,
We-
we put
we-
in there.
We're circling, and we got to
I don't know why
get
that's
through
not
it.
an acceptable answer.
$5 from Lawson Harrison. John Madden famously once said, "You know, Tom, they're never going to score if they can't get the ball." Thank you for that. $5 from Christopher Robin. Really annoying hearing my side, Democrats, just randomly throwing insults out for no reason.
Thank you.
$5 from Caramel Cold Brew. This is why MAGA will lose. MAGA dipshits have no solutions, only criticisms of Democrats. Keep dodging the questions, maggot. Your way of politics is ending. €5 from DT. Nothing you say is disputed because you say nothing, you dope. And then finally, my listening library. For $5. You said they go to Cali because of the beach. That isn't the same as because of the weather. One explains that effects of temperature, the other is mocking.
Well, the
Okay.
beach affects the weather. I want to be clear about that.
Yep. Usurp.
I,
I meant it was
One
warm. I
one
don't know
last
what
thing from Usurp, then we got to cycle him out. So Usurp, one last thing.
so one of the things that you keep saying is that, like, for example, in California, what the first thing that you would do is you would remove the person who's responsible for implementing the fix and bring in new people, correct?
correct.
So, oh, you're muted, I think. You might be muted.
Am I muted? Can you guys hear me?
Now
I can
now
hear.
we can, sorry.
Yeah.
So
Correct,
are
that
you
is correct.
does that mean that the Democratic policies are good? And you just think that they're not being run by the right people?
No, it doesn't mean that. It doesn't
But you
mean
said all you need to do is just change, like rehire somebody to just implement the policy.
you asked me what the first thing to do was. That's what I said should be the first move is you have to get new people in there.
But I
Like,
just asked you, all you need to do first is
it
move
could
the
be from
policy,
the
right?
top
And then you
down.
can start fixing the
Removing
problem.
leadership. It could mean removing actual on the ground construction workers
Mhm.
or companies hired to build housing. It could mean a lot of different things. Again, these are complicated issues. It doesn't mean just one thing. My whole point was that if the Democrats
I
aren't
know,
getting anything done, that they should be removed. So no,
We
I don't
understand it's
think.
not just one thing, but the only prescription that you've given so far is hire people.
Well, remove people that are in charge right now.
Understand? Yes.
of
Sure,
getting
yeah,
that
let's-
done.
we agree,
That's
that's
the
fine.
only thing you said. Like that's like
That's the first answer. I don't. What do you
Then
want
we
me to
a-
do?
but
Tell
we-
you how to fix homelessness, or
we've
I'm
been
wrong?
having this
Is that what you
conversation
want?
for over an hour, and we keep asking you, okay, we understand that. What is step number 2, or what's
Do you
the
know how
second move?
administration works?
You don't.
Do you know
Why
how
would you
that?
ask
Do you
that
know how
question? You obviously don't know
delegating
because
things
you
work?
don't know.
Like,
I'm
what do you
asking
want me to
you.
do? Tell you like the exact amount we're going to allocate this amount of
I would
money to build
imagine
this many
that if
houses.
you think
This
that
is
what's
our
going on in
homeless- What
California
is it
is
that you
so
want? What is an
bad, you would
acceptable
have an
answer to
example
you?
of a way
Do
that
you have
would
like a
make it
single
different.
policy?
A single policy for what? To end homelessness?
Yeah.
To help homelessness or to address
The policy would
homelessness.
be to start spending the money more effectively, building.
That's
In
not a
what way,
policy.
brother?
I'm
That
not-
doesn't
fortune
mean
cookie.
You have to look at the
anything.
actual issue. Look,
You're
Just do
giving
it
us
better.
fortune cookie
Okay,
answers.
okay. Stop.
You have to-
What? Just
you have to
let,
look-
let me translate. Let me translate because you guys are missing each other. They're asking you, Dragonfist, what is the root cause of homelessness that you think we should be addressing?
I think that homelessness should be addressed as a mental health issue and an addiction issue
Okay.
more than policies similar to policies in San Francisco where they enable, if you ask my opinion, they give out needles and things like that. They decriminalize certain drug use. Where you would do that, I think that's the opposite approach that I was talking about before, the complete inversion of the values and morals that I would use. You see the consistency in something like that,
Usurp, I love you, but
where
we're
I
gonna have to
wouldn't
let you
be enabling them in order to facilitate them staying on the street. That would be the first type of policy that I would implement. If you don't like the policy of firing the people wasting the money,
Okay.
you don't seem to not accept that as a policy. They should be fired, and then we should look at a more mental health approach, an addiction approach that actually helps these
So
people.
just so I
Because
heard
it's
you
not
correctly.
a lack of houses
Yeah,
that
yeah.
causes them to be homeless. Can we
Sure.
agree
So
on
just
that?
just so I'm hearing you correctly, you think, or your
Description?
proposition here is
Yeah.
that the people who are in charge now have not done a good job, so they should be removed from power, and they should tackle homelessness through improving mental health and addressing drug addiction. That is your
Correct.
okay. What does the panel have to say to that? Go ahead.
Sounds like a great set of
I
Sounds
think
like
the
San
obvious.
Francisco's sounds like San Francisco's policies as he's taking issue with. So
Again, I think the obvious, like we're kind of like on level 1 where we all agree, but then the follow-up question is like, okay, if we go for all that and we agree with that, Dragon, who is a Republican or conservative politician who is putting forth a policy or plan that would address any of this?
That would address homelessness as a mental health issue.
Mhm.
I've heard things discussed. I don't have an exact policy. I'm giving you details of where I think we got it wrong.
Sure.
I think
He's
we get
asking.
this-
He's asking you who?
I
What
don't
politician?
have
What politician? is-
Yo, what's up, Alderson? I don't have a corresponding policy. Like, what is it that you want? That's a policy.
I think-
like
So I think
put out social workers and rehab programs to start with. Like, if no Republican has it, then I wouldn't vote for them either. I'm telling you what, you're talking to me, not the entire Republican platform. I'm telling you what
Look,
I think.
yeah, but we're
should be
talking
implemented.
about, again, kind of going back to, we're not just talking about policy or,
It's quite possible
programs,
that they don't have one either. That's quite
but
possible. So we need to
we're also
discuss them.
talking about how like that intertwines with culture. There are Republicans and conservatives out there who don't even think depression is even real. So like to answer your question, it's like if we like use like the metaphor of like a basketball court. Okay, we pass the ball to the Democrat. They only score 1/3 of the shots they shoot. They're not getting the job done as well as we need to. Let's pass the ball. The reason that we don't pass the ball to the Republicans is because every time we pass the ball to the Republicans, they just stand there and shit their pants. They are
Can I interject real quick?
they are unable or incapable, even if you were to agree with their policy, even if they showed policies or cultural values or whatnot, even if you agree with them, we've seen that over the last decade, they are basically incapable. To your point, let's use the Aussie as an example. Even if we saw the Aussie as this like cultural battleground of like conservatives versus liberals fighting for the control of Hollywood, even if you agree with the conservative viewpoint or their cultures and values, they have shown that they are absolutely incapable of making any sort of foothold in terms of culture or the film in general, the film industry. They've tried to make films like the Daily Wire has, and they've all been absolutely horrible. And even their own audience doesn't even want to watch them. So even if you think that the liberals are like doing this like scheming plan to, try and like impose their values, what we've seen over the last decade is that the liberals or Democrats are the only people, even if you don't think they've done as good of a job or if you agree with them, they have shown themselves to be the only people who are actually capable of doing anything. Whereas the Republicans and conservatives have basically done fuck all for the last decade or so.
I think what you're saying, like, is, and you're the most reasonable so far, I must say, sir, Mac. But I think what you're describing is to be expected. Like, I'm not oblivious to what's like. I would expect Hollywood to have a woke message. Why is that? Because if you like theater kids, right? Like, who's in Hollywood? Like, there's I'm not saying it's good or bad. I'm saying there's a large gay community in Hollywood in theater. I would expect them to promote values that, like, why wouldn't they promote? Like, what kind of idiot would get a microphone and not promote values that they agree with?
But I'm saying why
wouldn't they do that?
But I'm saying if Republicans and conservatives believe that film or like the film industry or like media is so important in terms of defining the culture, and they care so much of that, why aren't we seeing more conservatives starting their movie studios and making films and trying to get into the industry and change the culture from the ground up? It just seems like they complain
They're
about
not as good
film.
at it.
Yeah, they're awful. That's what I mean. But that's what I'm saying is like when
they're more artistic, they're more in the theater, in the arts, 100%.
But that's what I mean when it comes down to it.
True.
But what I'm saying is that when it comes down to it, for most people, whether you think you agree with them or whether you think they're doing a good enough job, people are going to respond to the people who get shit done. Democrats, whether you like it or not, get shit done. They have basically monopolized the entire media industry. Conservatives can't, there's nothing stopping them from making their own film studios. They've tried, and they've done an absolutely terrible, embarrassing job at it. So it seems like at the end of the day, what people care about above all else is that people who get shit done, who can make some progress. It seems like Republicans and conservatives are inept at that. So the question is then why should we ever pass them the ball?
Okay.
Because every time they've tried, they've just shit their pants.
We are circling the drain a little bit. I'm going to let you respond to that, but I want to give it to our new people. What's your name, sir? With the F? Streamlabs.
Tequito.
Okay, and then also Balderson after that. So go ahead.
I'll be right back.
Yeah, I mean, I'm responding to it, but I'll respond anyway. I don't think that. Yes, I even said this. Like, I don't think it's the regular Democrat like foot soldier like on this panel that's coming up with these like insidious policy ideas that they put out through their media apparatus. That's what I was talking about. Through the media, through the education system. Like, it is a genius. No one is denying that. Like, when you look at it when you scan out and look at the way that they implement these tactics, What I would call propaganda tactics, what you would call implementing your values, is genius. It's extremely smart. It's extremely and to answer his question, that's what's getting them elected. I don't think it's actually them getting shit done like he claims that's getting them elected, but it's the emotional blackmail that is so, like, even the people on this panel don't realize they think it's true and that they're the ones being kind to people. So I'm saying I don't think that's actually true.
Okay.
I think that that's an emotional blackmail issue
Gotcha.
that's getting them elected.
We're gonna give it to the guests here to challenge you. Okay,
Sure.
go ahead, and then Balderson after.
Cool. I was kind of going over the last video you did, but I don't want to do like a whole line by line litigation of your thing if you don't really feel like doing that.
Thank you.
So do you have like a specific claim made during the stream that you want to go through? Because I can go back to the homelessness thing, or I can just kind
Yeah,
of
I
go
mean,
off my own thing.
my point is that either way, my overall thesis for the stream, I guess, of what we're saying is that these tactics, and it does carry over from the US aid thing, these tactics are used as emotional blackmail and as a shield against criticism. That's my whole point. In which to cast the person that doesn't want to implement these tactics as stupid, as a bigot, as a homophobe, as all these things, so that you don't have to have an actual debate on what is better, or if you're actually getting things done. Like I'm trying to say, this person's not getting things done. Let's replace them. You just call me stupid. Like for not knowing every single step in the, there's not a person on planet Earth that knows every step in solving every policy issue and
I
every
get you. It's all right.
that doesn't exist. So like
Well,
you're holding me to an
I don't think that's
unrealistic
necessarily fair. They
standard
asked
from the
for
start. Go ahead, I'm listening.
one policy specifically, and
That
I
is the
think
truth.
people get a lot really bogged down because it feels like you have a lot of strong emotions about things. But when we ask you for specific policy things or specific examples,
So when you say
seems to
policy, do you
be
want like the name, like a fancy name of a policy? Like, because I'm telling you
no.
that we need to take a focus. We need to remove the people that are in charge. We need to take a
Yeah.
focus onto mental health and addiction, as I don't think it's actually a housing. I don't think it's actually the issue of we don't have enough homes. That's why we have homeless people. I don't think that's what's causing and driving the homelessness. So I think a policy shift would be to look at the correct cause and address that first.
Well, if you don't think wait,
So
how
what is it
are
that you
homing?
want when you say policy?
Well, just real quick. There's a lot there.
Yeah.
I guess one of the frustrations I'm going to bring back to what Usurp was talking about and to what Mac is talking about is like when you talk about your policies, you sound exactly like a Democrat, but every place that you seem to hate are all Democrat places, like San Francisco, which I don't even know if you're from San Francisco. I actually live in LA in California, the blue belly of the beast that everybody talks about. It's pretty fucking great here. Like I'm not a millionaire. I make a normal amount of money. I work a normal job. I go to school. Like life is not that bad. We just got a train line from downtown to Wilshire, the D line. Shout out them. Like we do normal politics stuff here. Nothing is burning down. I leave my door open. I live in Santa Monica 24/7 because the weather's nice and I don't have to worry about homeless people breaking in. So it's like when I hear you complain about all these things
I'm not
and it seems
complaining.
like you're not personally familiar with them and also you don't have like a personal policy prescription,
I
it's
just
like
gave you a
frustrating for
policy
me.
prescription.
Well, no, your policy prescriptions are the things we do in California, right? We do
Oh,
things
you
for mental health.
enable
You guys
drug use.
don't.
I'm saying you have to get them off drugs. I'm saying that
Oh,
there's
I
things
heard
like
that.
needle exchanges, and I have been to San Francisco. I've seen them. I've
Okay.
You've been
also
there, but you
seen
don't
the
live there, so
bars
you're not
that have
familiar with
notes
the.
on them say, "Please don't break my windows. My doors are open. There's nothing in here." I've seen them with my own eyes. So and I've seen the needle exchanges. I've seen the people strung out on drugs on the side of the
Yeah,
street.
I think
So
needle exchanges are
no,
a great
you're
thing. Do you
not
think homeless
implementing
people
the
should have
policies that
AIDS
I'm saying we
because
should
they do
implement.
drugs?
Huh?
Do you think homeless people should have AIDS and Hep C just because they do drugs?
See that emotional blackmail.
It's
Okay.
not emotional
Okay.
blackmail. It's literally a
That's not how
question.
that
Like
works.
that's what
Who
needle
even
exchanges are
derives
for.
that?
Needle exchanges are
Okay.
not so.
Okay.
Thinks that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
like,
We're circling
honestly,
again. We're circling
I
again.
think
I
they
want to
should
give it
have
to
AIDS.
Am I being
Balderson.
fair, or am I being unfair?
You're fine. You're fine. Right. But I do want to get Balderson in here for a little bit. Right. And make sure everyone gets a chance. Don't worry. Balderson, you're up.
Thank you, Wick. Appreciate you having me up, brother. Nice to be on. Never been on your show before. I've been on panel with you a few
Welcome.
times.
Yeah. Welcome. What do you got?
Dragon Fist. From what you guys were saying earlier, and I would definitely have to agree. The culture seems to be a lot of the driving factor in some of the problems that are being discussed. and that you're laying the blame on this on things like feminism and things like that. Is that correct?
Well, it's a multi. That's why I say it's so insidious. They attack from so many different levels to all the groups that could need help. That this is what they're this is the tactic of shielding policies and using emotional blackmail. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
What would some of these other things be besides feminism?
Besides feminism, it's just the general treatment of women. It's not even just feminism. Women as a voting bloc, turning them. It's all about the inversion of values and morals, like I was saying. So, like the only reason I don't even care who you say should have the vote, but there's no reason, good reason in my head I can think where a husband and wife should vote against each other. Like I only see that as a cause for division. Like one of them has to be right. Like they can't both be right about what's good for their one house. So like when you start to drive the nuclear family apart from each other, now you're not following the same morals and values that place them higher on the hierarchy of importance like I do. Where I think that this is extremely important. So this is the attack. And it comes from feminism. It comes from just deconstructing our morals and values that we have now that built the West. That's what it comes from. And even the books like the Communist Manifesto, Marx, use this language. We need to deconstruct the nuclear, like it says literally exactly word for word, deconstruct in society these pillars.
I'm so glad we
And
agree
what
that
would you say
Communist
was the
Manifesto
what
said-
would you say was the pillar in and of itself of the nuclear family?
It's just like, what are we going to promote for the culture, right? So
No,
like,
no, the nuclear
tell-
family. What was the pillar of the nuclear family in and of itself?
well, there's a hierarchy of like when you have a husband and wife, right? Originally, there was an idea that a wife should. I'm not saying this is the case. I'm saying that it might be. I'm not making a claim. I'm just there was
No, please,
a policy
make
that
them
was,
claims. This
women
is
should obey
what
their
we're trying to
husband.
do.
Very much.
Women should obey their husband was a policy of the church, right? Still is probably. Still is. Women should obey their husband. So,
Sure.
okay. When you
but
take
just
that
to hold on,
out,
let me short circuit this. We do want to know
I-
your position here.
I'm getting ready to short circuit it. It's just got to be laid out, Wick.
Okay.
Can I get just a
you
second?
take that out and then you tell them, no, go to an office, like you don't need no man. It's a lie because they then go to that office and just listen to a different man or person. Like they're just listening. Yeah, they're not free. Like she's laughing. She doesn't get it. Maybe you never sat in an office. I did for 20 years. If you think that's freedom, you're a moron. Like you're
What is
not
freedom,
free to
brother?
any. You just have to listen to somebody else. So like take them away from the
Does it
person that
matter?
actually cares about them and has a joint ability to form something and build something with them in their household and put them in this cubicle and make them listen to this person instead and then divide them on what they should vote on. It's like how you don't see that that's not good for society.
So the
Dragon,
woman should be subservient and obey, and this should be to what I am just going to have to presume is an honorable man that actually acts in the interest of the people around him and treats them with respect and dignity. And I really have to wonder then that since that time era where we had respectable gentlemen, and now we've got punks that tend to not have any honor, not display any of the manly things. They're all addicted to porn. If you watch like even on the shows like whatever where they bring on the OnlyFans girls just to rag on them, OnlyFans girls will tell you they come on because they get a giant bump by these closeted little pervs who are incels and just angry little men. Now, you guys were talking about earlier about Hollywood and being able to propagandize your deciding thing for the culture, and the conservative side did put out a movie that showed what they want for the culture. It was called Citizen Vigilante. And in this, the guy who's portrayed as a hero, yeah, he goes around and he gets them evil liberals. He goes around and gets them evil immigrants. He also kills an innocent person in a car, and he doesn't even know if there's kids, women in that car. He owns a building that's a whorehouse, and then goes and visits the whorehouse and consumes their products himself while he's pretending like he's some upstanding man. So what are the women supposed to do when the men around them are so petty little nasty men that are just self-serving? Should they continue to follow that, or should they stand up and try and make their own path?
I saw the movie. I agree with you. I mean, that guy's not like. First of all, I think he's German. He's like the director. He's like European. So he's not from America. But what they're trying to, they didn't do a very good job. It wasn't very
Army
coherent.
Hammer?
No, the director. He's
Oh, the
German.
director?
UA Bull, yeah, he's a German. He's like notorious for making awful.
He didn't do a good. It wasn't like a great movie. Like I get the point of what he's trying to say, but there's plot holes for sure. Like the guy's an immigrant himself in the story. Like so, like what I'm thinking while I'm watching is like, you're an immigrant. You're mad at the other immigrants, and like, how'd you get all those guns? Like, you just came into a country, like you came in, I think, undocumented. He like made the point to say like he didn't stop at any checkpoints, and then like got an arsenal of weapons. How? So like the movie doesn't make sense.
Dragon, if I could ask just to back up a little bit, you mentioned that there shouldn't. You think it's ridiculous to see a husband and wife voting differently, like a husband votes right, wife votes left. Now, I to some extent, I agree with you, but for the wrong reason. I
like this
agree
guy.
with you in the sense that if a husband and wife are voting differently, it's because usually voting is based on people's values. So the idea that you would, be with someone and you'd be married with them and have children with them when you didn't share core fundamental values, that does seem strange to me, or something might have gone wrong there. The issue is what we're seeing, to your point, is that, and I think a lot of women and men agree with you, but the problem is that now we're seeing people just not marrying people, or they're choosing who to marry based on those values. So now we see a lot of young women saying, oh, he's a conservative, he voted for Trump, I don't want to marry him. And we're seeing a lot of those men get upset, which it doesn't seem to track, because why would these men want to date or marry women who don't share their values? It seems like that isn't really a solution to the under like ground floor level, which is that we're seeing a separation of men and women to different sides of the political spectrum, and that is making it harder for them to want to pair up, because why would you want to, either men or women, why would you want to marry someone who doesn't share your fundamental values?
Right, and I think that this all started in the '60s with the destruction of the nuclear family. I think that's what causes this. So you're absolutely right that we're getting to a point of like no return, especially with technology. Like people don't even care anymore. Like they're willing to give up relationships, which I think is really the insidious nature of this. And what I'm saying is I don't think that there's ever a reason or a way that it could be beneficial to the household as a whole for a husband and wife to vote against each other. Like it can only be if there's only one household. Like only one thing could benefit the house. Like it can't be like this sort of benefits it, but there has to be an overall good, in my opinion, for the household, as like objectively, like one person's right and one person's wrong. Even if I'm not even saying it has to be the man that has the vote, but I'm saying to your point of what's driving them further apart is once you make both parties, men and women, voting blocks. I'm not saying whether or not it's wrong or if there's another way to implement it. I'm saying once you do that, you're now driving propaganda each way and driving them further apart in order to gather those votes. That's just common sense.
I want to toss it to Marlo in a second, but one question, just so I'm aware, and you don't have to answer if you don't want to, if it's too personal. But are your parents still together? Or your mom and dad still a couple, things like that?
I'll answer. Like my father passed away when I was very young, and then my mother got remarried. I've had a stepfather who she's still married to for like 30 years.
Okay, so a solid relationship, multiple years, multiple decades. Okay, that's what I was wondering. At least in my family, because my parents too are still married, right? They've been married for multiple decades at this point, right? They sometimes vote against each other in elections. Not all the time, but they sometimes do. And yeah, they have different opinions on how things should be run, but it doesn't affect their marriage. And why would it? Or why should it? Like this idea that because you have a different idea of how the tax system should be, or whether we should have school vouchers, or whether we should fund Ukraine. Why that should affect your marriage is wild to me. I never understood it. And I
Agreed.
don't know why we would be pushing this, well, one household, one vote type of deal, when we should just, if a individual wants to vote a different way than their husband or wife, it's not my business, right? It's not my business. It's their choice, and we should allow them to have that choice. This I guess, communal idea, this communistic idea, right, that we all have to kind of socially put in our votes with our households, rather than just concentrating on the individual and letting the individuals decide for themselves, regardless of what their husband, wife, kids, grandma, whatever thinks. I don't know, man. It's wild. But I want to give it to Marlo, because she's the one here she had her hand raised for quite a while. And then I'll let you respond to both of us. Go ahead.
I think that this idea that a household is a unitary political, well, it is a political unit, really exemplifies a big difference between even center and left and center right politics. Where right now, when we're looking at the cultural zeitgeist within the political right and the cultural zeitgeist within the political left, the right is a top-down machine. People have to agree with each other, and they're purity tested, and like that's radical extremism that came from the Tea Party all the way down through the center, right? And on the left wing of politics, yeah, we have people who want to purity test you, and we have people that want to paint things in broad black and white strokes, but in that center is a big mass of people who understand that disagreements in matters of policy don't necessarily reflect disagreements in values. And that is the authoritarian machine on the right, is that if you have X values, you will have Y policies, and there is no discrepancy between those things. And if you disagree, then you're like a fucking fake Republican, rhino, whatever. And it is that, I just want to like call that out and say that that rhetoric is so dangerous for democracy, and it is so dangerous for having like an informed electorate, that like it's one of the main reasons why I generally try in my community, like in my real life, just not to argue politics with Republicans, because they don't care.
I think.
Wait, can I respond, please? So,
yeah,
so
my
like
apologies.
she's making that claim again. That's my point. That you're saying they don't care, and I'm telling you we do care. We just think you're doing it wrong. So, like, to cast me out as not caring, you're doing exactly that thing that you just accused me of doing.
No,
And
what
it's
I'm
in
saying is the
yes,
thing that
you're
you don't care
othering me
about
and
is
say
the
you're out.
argumentation.
You don't have my political values and
No, you
agree with me
demonstrably don't care about
wholeheartedly, so you're out.
argumentation.
And what I'm telling you is I've experienced way more on the Republican side that they're willing. Like I could to people that I'm friends with that are Republicans, like even like it doesn't matter really who it is. Like we can have disagreements. I could even go to them and say, look, I don't support Trump anymore at all. And like we'll still be cool. Like Democrats don't allow, like as soon as they sense that you're not on their side on one thing, they pounce and attack you. And you guys have been doing it to me all night. I'm trying to make common ground with you with things that are not really that unreasonable, but you like immediately want to cast me
What
as the other
common ground
side.
do you want to establish?
You said I was
I don't feel,
emotionally
I feel like we
blackmailing
haven't been
you.
Can we
focusing on
fire
that.
someone that's not doing a good job? Like that should be an unreasonable thing that we all agree on.
Oh, remember
But
when
you
we
like
all
try to
agree on it
attack
and
me
you're
and tear me
lying
down on
on
it
your fucking
and call
right
me an
as if
idiot.
we all
Like,
disagree?
but
Yeah,
I'm
because
telling
you're
you that no, we do care.
dragon.
We
Dragon.
do care, and I'm trying
Dragon.
to. Are you hearing what I'm saying? Like you're trying
No,
to
I'm
stop me from
ignoring what
talking
you're
right
saying
now.
at this
The
point
left
because
is
you're
going to
once
paint
again
it.
rambling and not making a point, and I'm really tired of listening
That's
to you
not a
rambling and
point.
not making a point.
How is
My
that not
point
a
is
point?
that there is a discrepancy in your ability to argue, right? And you're not capable of engaging with the idea. You ramble and you don't make a point. You don't make a claim. You don't connect ideas together. Sure, you can quote data that you think is pertinent, but you cannot connect that pertinence to the fucking argument. And so, like,
What do you mean? I
the
laid out
problem
the
I'm having with
whole
you right now,
program for you.
the
I laid out
problem that
the
I'm
whole
having
thing.
is that you're quite literally just a slogan repetition machine. I need you. I need you. If I'm going to take you seriously, to be able to engage with the substance of the matter, and you're not demonstrating that ability.
But you see how you're trying to kick me out of the conversation?
Why
You're
should I have a
demonstrating
child at the
you
adult
are
table?
demonstrating exactly my point. You're trying to kick me out of the conversation. I
Based
don't
on the
get a
fact that
say
you're not
because you
able to
decided
argue.
so.
You don't deserve to be part of a conversation with serious
Case in
policy matters
point.
at stake.
Case in point.
Exactly.
That's
Case in
exactly my
point.
point.
Exactly.
Exactly
Case in
my
point.
point. You think that you
Exactly.
get to say, you're so right, you couldn't possibly be wrong. These people
I
couldn't
didn't say I was
possibly be
right. I said
using
you
you.
can't argue.
I should
Once
get kicked
again,
out of
he's
the
not listening. Once again, he's not listening, ladies
Oh,
and
that's the
gentlemen.
implication. You said I can't put ideas together. If you're kicking me out because I'm so stupid, obviously I'm not right. You just said I can't connect ideas. You
You
can't
could
connect
be right,
that
maybe,
idea.
if you learn
You
how to
can't
fucking
connect that
Okay.
one.
Okay.
Hey, better save her on that.
Okay. Okay. No, well, we got to get more people in. And I also have a question. Did you announce today that you're going to stop going on Raging Tomato?
Not today. I announced this 2 days ago.
Oh, 2
Yeah.
days ago. Explain. Elaborate for the audience. I'm curious now.
Yeah, I mean, I made a video about it. You guys can go and watch it. Everything that I say in there pretty much stands. It was not an easy decision for me, as I have gotten pretty close with Sarah over the last, whatever, 6 months, 8 months. But I have to stand, like she says,
like close to the point where you told her you would never turn your back on her and never shit on her and
I
things
said
like
was,
that. Did you say that to her?
I said this in the
Did you
video.
say that?
Yeah, what I said was I wouldn't leave her for a better opportunity to go on another show. That's what I said.
Oh, you
didn't.
didn't leave her
Which
just
I
because
didn't.
Andrew Wilson called you and told you and had a little chat with you? You didn't tell
No,
her that? Did
that's
you
not.
take 2 minutes to investigate the story? Did you watch a single one of the
Andrew
fucking
Wilson
videos?
helped me with debate prompts and asked me nothing
And
about
said I
the
couldn't
Sarah.
give you no more advice or
Not a
help as long
word.
as you're
Not
hanging
a
out with
word
Sarah.
about the Sarah
Did
thing.
he say I can't give you any more advice or help if you associate with Sarah?
He did not. He did not make
He did
any
not.
type.
You didn't tell Sarah that.
And he said that. No, I didn't say that. He said he wouldn't
Weird.
associate
So
with
you're a
me.
fucking liar
Show
and
me
you're
the
pathetic,
messages
dude.
where I said he
Did you go
wouldn't
to a strip club?
associate
Did
with
you go
me.
to a strip club and get a titty
Talk
dance?
about politics.
Did you go to a strip club and get a titty dance?
We went out after the thing. I didn't get any dances.
And why
no.
can't you
Hold on,
answer a
hold on,
straight
just real
fucking
quick.
question?
Just real quick.
Because you
Just real
got
quick.
no honor or morals, dude, but you want other people to follow masculine men, but you're not one of them, bro. You're a sellout.
But why?
Did you take 2 minutes to fucking check out the bullshit story Andrew Wilson fed you?
He didn't
Or
give
did you
me a
go,
story.
I would
I'm
love
telling
to
you the
be part
truth
of your
also.
crew, Andrew, and then totally backtrack what you told Sarah? Don't give
What I
a
told
shit,
Sarah
dude.
was that I wasn't going to leave her show to go on other shows, which I'm not. I've actively made my own life more
No,
difficult.
you left her to
More
be friends
difficult.
with Andrew
He's not
Wilson.
helping me do anything. Like,
With that
he was
little
pretty
punk
clear
bitch.
on
Like,
that.
why would a
Like, he's
woman
not- he's
ever
not help-
follow a nasty, petty little cunt like him?
He didn't
And why would
offer
any
me-
woman
follow him
follow
for
you
what? I'm doing
when you
what I
think the
is the
dude's
right
impressive and you're willing to break your word
Okay,
and break your honor?
just
but
hold
you
on,
fucking
hold on, hold
follow
on,
him?
hold on, hold
I
on.
didn't do
Let's
that
take it.
because
Let's hold
I
on,
was
hold on,
going
hold
on
on.
another show.
Half my
I
audience
did it.
doesn't know what's going on. So,
Yeah.
in your own words,
Including
Mr.
me, I have no idea what the
Yeah. In your
Yeah,
own words,
when
Dragon
I first
Fist,
started-
what happened?
When I first started going on Sarah's channel, this is the honest truth. I didn't know that there
Okay,
was.
so
a
just so
lawsuit.
everyone knows, just so we're going to divide our terms, Sarah is another content creator. She hosts panels. I've been on her show a few times. That's who we're talking about. She's another person in this space
Sarah the
who
Raging
hosts.
Tomato.
Yes, Sarah the Raging Tomato. She hosts panels. That's who we're talking about. Okay, continue, please.
I was a regular guest and debater on her. I did most of my debates, like 90% of them, on Sarah's channel. So that was the situation. I did not know when I first got there that there was ongoing litigation, that there was an ongoing
Did
lawsuit.
Sarah help you get more debates and then take you down to Vegas and
Did I
get
not
you on a
help
big
her
liberal
also?
debate where you got to go into the lair of the enemy and take your ideas and arguments into the lair of the enemy? Did Sarah do all that for you too?
Did I do that for myself, or did she do it for me?
Did Sarah do that?
She did it
Because
for
I gotta
me?
tell you, Pete, you're not a name in the debate world anybody knows, and she had to schmooze your way in there. Did she do that for you?
No, I think that I completely the
Right,
work that I
right.
did spoke for itself. I don't think that it had anything to do. Like, did she help? We helped each other facilitate shows, but I don't think one without the like. Is it just
You
her?
definitely do your own speaking. I ain't taking that away. God damn it, Spin. You definitely do your own speaking. I don't take that away from you. You don't get to take the other part away from Sarah. And because of that,
We
did you
help
go
each
ahead and
other.
pledge to her? You would never turn your back on her.
So the claim
I would
is,
never
the claim
go
is,
on another
just so I can be
channel.
clear, just so I can be clear to my audience, so I can explain. The claim is, because my audience does know this person, Andrew Wilson, big papa fascist. He used to go by, used to be in this space. Me and Andrew Wilson have debated a time or two. Andrew Wilson, at least this is a claim being made to me. Andrew Wilson contacted you, talked to you, called you, I'm not sure how, but he talked to you and he said, hey, if you go on and associate with Sarah, I'm not going to help you anymore. Is that true or not?
That is not true.
That is not true.
That is not at all
Okay.
what was said. He was helping me anyway. He did not make any claims like that, and did not offer to help me any further if I did do that. So no, that's not. I don't know where that information is coming from. That's not
what I'm being
was-
told. I don't know the truth of the matter. This is a claim that is being made.
There was
to
no
me.
like quid pro quo, like you can't do this or I'm not going to talk. Like there was none of that.
He didn't offer. He just said he can't help you anymore, which definitely. I love how you Republican types, you guys like to play these little bullshit word games. Like the rest of us can't read between the fucking lines.
Do you want me
I
to
can't
tell
help
you
you
what I think his
anymore if
intentions
you
are?
keep associating. And you told Sarah that.
You want me to
Amongst
tell you what-
other things, but we're finding out you're not particularly honest as a person. I don't know why any woman would trust you to make decisions for the family.
Okay, again, the reason that I left Sarah's channel is not because of something that happened as a slight to me. I honestly don't believe that suing the Crucible is the right move. I don't.
Do you believe that?
Well,
do
let
you
him
believe
finish.
that
Hold on,
Andrew
let him
coming
answer.
out and telling
Beardson,
people
Beardson,
to
Beardson,
watch
please.
Sarah's channel
Let him
to
explain.
crash
Hold
Sarah's
on, Beardson,
channel was the
Beardson.
right thing to do?
I'm sorry, not Beardson.
What'd you say?
Balderson. Sorry,
Sorry,
Balderson. Balderson. You got to let him finish his answer.
I get it. I understand why he feels the way he does.
Go ahead.
I understand why he feels the way that he does. I really do. But my intentions, like this, I'm actually being 100% real and honest. And hold on, let me fix my camera.
People, you say, who cares about the stupid shit? I do. I want to know. I'm curious. So yes, I'm throwing a flag in the play, and I want to know what his position is here because I think it's interesting. And I'll just tell you this, Dragonfly, I'll be straight with you. If this is true, right? And Sarah is saying that she has messages saying that it is true. That is kind of shitty of you to do, to just abandon her like that because Andrew Wilson threatened you.
Again, I'm the one that's now like working by myself, not her. Like she still has her whole crew. This wasn't an easy thing for me to do. I had debates lined up. I canceled a trip to Vegas that I had money invested in already. I had other debates even when I came back lined up with Sarah. So like I didn't do this for like any particular gain. And it's something that evolved naturally. That's what I'm saying to Balderson. Like I was being honest. It evolved as I was on her channel. At first, I didn't know there was a lawsuit. Then I found one out, and I remember.
Well, that didn't really. Be honest. If you're going to be honest, be honest. It evolved as you hung out with Vic and the boys and talk shit.
That was the last part of it. I'll give you the
evolution. Definitely that's what friends do.
That was the end of it. That was the end.
And then when Rachel Wilson came on and gave you some shit and threw some super chats in there, giving you some shit, telling you, just sticking you. That didn't have nothing to do with it. Were those the deciding factors, Dragon Fist? Or did you go study the situation after you heard about it? Did you go watch all the videos?
It's always been my position that you shouldn't sue people. That's all. Like Is it
okay to take money away from women? Is it okay to take money away from a single mom?
I'm trying to explain to you why I can't. Let me just explain why I came to the position, and then I'll tell you. Like, so I've always held.
Is that okay? It's just an easy yes or fucking no.
And then I'll answer.
Holy waffle.
I've always held a position you shouldn't sue people, right? And then as I'm learning about what's going on, I'm thinking in my head, oh shit, I am developing a relationship with Sarah, like as a friend, and we're in Vegas. Then this is the next part. Then I'm sitting there at the lunch with Brian Shapiro and Sarah, and I did think to myself, and I know Brian got mad and said something and then got me kicked off the debate. And I did say something to them. I did in that moment. I thought in my head, I didn't say something to them. I thought in my head that this is not the right side. I did think that in that very moment, being honest with you. And then as I came back and learned more about the lawsuit, more was going on, and saw what was going on, and then saw that thing on Vic, it's just time for me to step away and do my own thing. Why is that a problem?
To the lawsuit, it's a fucking yes or no, or did you just bitch ass shit talk with a bunch of little mean girl ortho bros?
I always used to
Which
hear
one?
that from my
Did you go
grandmother
study
coming
it,
up that you
motherfucker?
shouldn't sue
Did you
people.
go
I
study
heard
it?
that since I was a little kid. You can ask like
Did
my
you go
mother if you
study
think
it?
I'm lying.
Yes or
Why
no?
can't
Well,
you
you know,
say
I
yes?
heard my
Part of
grandma.
Why can't you say yes? Because you sat
What's the
around and
question?
gossiped like a
Okay.
little bitch.
Okay,
the
I
Because
do.
you want women to follow you, dude.
Yeah,
You're a
I-
liar.
Question.
You're
What's
petty.
the question?
And you're
He,
pathetic.
no,
and
he's
you want
asking you if you
women to
watched the
follow
videos
you.
pertaining to the lawsuit. I just want to translate.
Did
He's
I
asking,
watch
did
them
you watch
all?
those videos?
No.
No, you didn't watch
I-
videos. That's easy.
Wow.
Okay. I
Why
want
would
to get.
did
I want to get.
watch them all? No,
I want to get.
know.
I
Did
want
you
to get
ask
Stormwolf in
Sarah
here.
her
There's
side?
stuff that
Did you
happens.
ask
Okay,
Sarah her side?
Okay.
This
Did
is
you
some really
ask
interesting
Sarah
politics.
her
I'm
side?
really enjoying this
Sarah told
political
me.
commentary.
Storm.
Really
First of
cool.
all, hold on.
Good for you,
Stormwolf.
little
Now I
man.
got beef with you. Stormwolf.
What do you mean
He-
you have beef with me?
this
I'm
is-
just joking.
He's versus the world. People with
Can I just
beef
finish
want to
one
beef
last
with
thing?
him.
Sure,
Okay?
I'm just saying.
It's not
Well, I
just
don't know if it's
politics.
if it's
I know.
responding whether you
I'm
asked Sarah her side or anybody
She told
else.
me her side, dude. And then what I'm saying is that this is what I think is the best thing for the conservative movement. I really do believe that. He's now working, Andrew is now working with Turning Point USA. Whether or not you think
Why
that's
would
good-
any woman
and
ever
they're the
follow
largest
Andrew? He's
outreach
an angry,
organization on the
nasty,
right, the
petty little
largest.
bitch of a man.
Okay, but
He's
he's
an angry,
working with
nasty
them.
little petty bitch of a man.
What
He's
should I
like
do?
you.
Throw it
dude.
away? Not care about the largest
He's not-
right-wing
The
community?
dude can't open up a fucking olive jar. He's not even a man. He's a little angry video
Missing
gamer
the
boy.
point. It's
Okay.
not about him. I
Okay,
don't want to
okay,
hurt the
okay, okay,
conservative movement in any way. He's
I
working
do
with-
wanna
he's
give it-
working with Turning Point.
Yeah.
Dad.
I do want.
That's
I do
not
want to
that-
hold on.
that's
Just
not
Balderson.
conservative. Women will follow bitches.
We got it. We got to let the other people in. We got to let the other people in. Stormwolf, you had some stuff to go in, but yeah.
Yeah, sure. Dragon Fist. In the USAID video, I think you talked about the national debt as like a huge reason to vote for like Republicans and Trump, right?
That was the debate prompt. I guess if you want to like word it that way, that's why you should vote for Republicans and Trump.
Well,
It's
do
not
you
act-
agree with that? Is that a part of the reason why you voted for Trump, like the national debt? Because you made it seem like it was a huge factor for you in terms of your politics.
No, I think I explained the entire night why I vote the right and not the left. It's a total value structure that I'm voting for. It's not just one.
Was the
policy.
national debt a big part of that value structure? Yeah or no?
It's not. No, it's
Well,
the
no.
inversion of-
I'll work with that value structure. He talked about a lot about how you can't trust Democrats, and he talked about how like these failures, you can't trust them. They seem to not be getting done what they tell you they'll get done, right?
That is correct.
Okay. Why should we take your opinion on that? I mean, actually, here's a better question. Do you regret voting for Trump because he's fully like failed on every single promise he's made?
No.
What? Okay, so let's go through the list. No new wars. Has he held to that promise?
Again, there's something that's more important than
Wait,
all
wait,
this,
we don't.
which
Wait,
is
stop.
the
This is a
overall
direct
value
question.
structure.
No, this is a direct question. You waffled around questions the entire night. You're going to answer questions directly now.
Okay.
Did Trump stick to no new wars? Yes or no?
No.
Okay, so he broke that
Did
promise.
Trump say in 1989 we had to take out the Iranian regime? Yes or no?
I'm sorry, what did he campaign
Yes
on?
or
Why are
no?
we going back to 1989?
Because you said that he said no
campaigned
new
on
wars.
no
I've
new
been saying
wars.
the same
It's
thing
what
for
he
30
promised to
years.
the voters. He lied to you.
30
He
years
lied
he's
to
been
you.
saying it. Okay, so he said contradicting things. Why is yours a lie and mine isn't?
I'm sorry.
That's
Saying-
something you
he
need to
said
answer.
two
You,
things that
you're
are
He
saying
contradictory.
campaigned. Sorry, wait. He campaigned on no new wars, so he ran on the idea that his
saying since
presidency
the
would
80s
have
that
no
we
new
had to
wars.
be in
Why would I
regime
take?
change.
Why would I take what he talked about in 1989? Do you think you're the same person that you were like what 30 years ago?
Well, I'm saying that seems to be pretty consistent. That's what I'm
Not with
saying.
his
That's
campaign
consistency
trail, which is
that-
what not with the campaign trail, which is where he talks about what he's going to run on and
Well,
what
I
his
can give
presidency is
them
going to
a
look like.
pass on the no new wars because we have things like
We
treaties
can
that
give
they
them a
don't.
new. We can give them a pass on it. Okay, that's fine. So he broke
I'm telling
that
you for
one.
me
Wait, So
why.
he broke
You
that
can't-
one.
you
He broke
can't
that
make
one.
the point of
Affordability.
no
Has he
new
gotten
wars. What if
inflation down?
someone
Has
attacks
he gotten
you?
inflation
You
down?
can't
Has he
make-
gotten
Huh?
inflation down? Has he gotten inflation down? Or is
Inflation
prices
never
decreased?
goes down, so it's like a trick question.
I mean,
Like,
has
he's gotten the
how about this?
percentage at
Is
which
inflation higher at the
goes
start?
down?
Is inflation higher than at the start of his term?
Is the percentage of which inflation grows higher than at the start of this term? I don't know. I'd have to look that up. Is
The answer is
inflation
yes. So he didn't do
higher?
that.
Yes,
He didn't do
inflation
that. He
only
didn't do
goes
that.
up.
So he
It
didn't do
doesn't
that.
go
He
down.
didn't do
Like,
that.
the
He
rate
didn't
in
do
which
that.
it raises
He
goes up
didn't
and
do
down.
that, did he? He didn't do that. I'm
Nobody
curious why you
does
talk.
that.
I'm also curious to because
It's not
this
a
is
thing that happens.
out
in
of curiosity. Do
reality.
you support? You talked about the national debt. I'm not here to talk about USAID in relation to that. I'm just talking about the national debt. Do you support the one big beautiful bill?
I support it. Like, are you gonna like? I don't personally.
Hey,
my
it's a
own
simple
opinion,
question. Just stand by what you support or don't. Do you support the one big beautiful bill?
I'm trying to explain to you. I don't
It's
support
not like
bills.
you would do this. You say, I'm trying to explain to you. These are simple questions that you feel
They
need to
aren't.
waffle around
They
because you're
aren't, because there's
unconfident in your
thousands of
positions.
pages in these bills with many different things, many different aspects to get smuggled in. I don't think that any bills should be that way.
It
Republican
is a
or
budget
Democrat.
bill. The primary purpose of the bill is to outline the budget for the government. It should be pretty easy to say, do you support what that
It
bill
isn't.
did
Do
and the
you know?
consequences
Okay,
of
so
it?
what's on page 136 of that bill?
I'm not asking you to know every
What's on
single
that page?
specific. I'm not
You don't
asking you
know?
to know every single
What?
specific. I'm asking you for
What?
the overall calculation.
You don't
I'm
know the
sorry.
bill,
Are
bro.
you?
Hold on, let me
you just
hold
saw
on,
that
hold on.
total
Let
value-
me
no, wait,
let me
give a
let
second.
me let me
Wait,
translate. Hold on,
You don't
please,
know
both of
the
you,
bill.
both of
no,
you.
wait. I don't need
You're
this.
doing trust.
You just talked about a
level,
total valuation. You were able to do it for the Democrats, but you can't do it for a bill. Are you
Yeah,
retarded?
I'm telling you, I'm not saying I support anything. I would have to go through it line by line, and things are snuck in by both
Do you agree
sides.
Republicans have been worse on the national debt than Democrats?
Have you gone line by line for any Democrat policy?
I would do it also if you asked me to support it. I would do it for both. That's what you guys don't understand.
You haven't
about
done it yet for any,
consistency.
right?
I didn't support the war in Iran. Republicans still
gone
accept
through
me.
anything
How is that
that you support
possible?
line by
I
line.
I'm
can
not
say
asking
Trump
what
wrong.
Republicans accept you. I'm
Republicans
asking you for
still
the
accept me.
consistency of your
You don't
position.
understand
You
that
talked
we
about
are
stop.
different.
You talked about Democrats not like fulfilling on their promises, but you still support a man who's betrayed you on every single promise. You
There's
vote for Republicans,
consistency
even though the national debt is so important to you that you described it as an existential crisis, and you'd still vote for Republicans who have been demonstrably worse on the national debt. Every single Democrat has decreased the amount they deficit spend. Every single Republican has increased it. The last time we had a budget surplus was under Clinton. When we look at the national debt, it's expanded the most from wars started by Republicans, and you continue to vote Republicans despite you thinking this is a national, like an existential threat. Why should we take your total valuation seriously in anything when the principles that you claim to care about, the ideas of like presidents being consistent or parties being consistent with what they promise, you don't care about that when it applies to Republicans. You don't actually hold these standards.
I do actually hold these standards.
What did I say that was wrong? What did I say that was wrong?
That I still vote for these people even though they lie to me, and I don't have a standard or a reason for doing that.
Well, they did lie
That's
to you, right?
wrong.
Trump lied about no new wars.
That's
Trump lied about
wrong.
the
I do have a
affordability thing.
standard that I carry across the board that I've been saying the entire night, which is the overall value structure.
What overall value structure? What has Trump gotten done for you? He's done nothing.
The overall value
I would be
structure that
fucking
is
embarrassed if I
promoted
was
by
like,
the right.
I voted for this
we're gonna-
idiot and I
we're gonna
got
cycle some
nothing out
people,
of
okay.
it.
Dragon, can I ask, is there anything? So we've kind of, Swarmwolf was kind of established that Trump has sort of gone back on a lot of what he has stated in terms of policy. Now, again, I think we can talk all day of like, well, the values of the party, but if the policy that the party is enacting aren't reflective of those values, I don't really see what the point of that is. But a question for you, is there any circumstance where Trump or any Republican or conservative could do anything in which you would say, you know what, I'm not on board with this anymore, I'm going to vote for a Democrat?
Of course. Well, that I would vote for a Democrat.
Mhm.
The entire value structures of the party would have to be changed. But I don't support like criminality from one side to be like I'm not going to support that from my side either. Like, of course, there's things that Trump could do where I wouldn't support him. Like, I don't even support the war in Iran. Like, I never did. You can go back on my page, look at my community post from the first day. I don't support it. I don't think this is what's best for the American people. I don't think it's a good expenditure of our funds. And I've been saying that the whole time. So I'm consistent with this. But then if you're saying, should I vote for the left with a complete inversion of all the values that I think are correct? No, I think that's much worse for society. And to go back to his point about the debt, yeah, that may be true what you're saying about the national debt grows more when it's a Republican, but I would make the case, and I don't know where these conversations are going to go, so I don't have it in front of me. We can look it up. I would make the case that the debt grew the most after the 50s and 60s, at this time I was talking about, when women started taking on debt, because now they're the largest holder or very close to right where men are with debt. So I would say that was the biggest increase in debt.
Wait, when you talk about increase in debt, what the fuck?
Okay, so
I'm generally asking, how does the federal government's budget increasing relate to? Also, no, that's not even true. Wait, no, fuck, that's retarded. When was the biggest increases in our national debt? You should know this.
Well, national, yeah. Well, it depends on what we're talking about. I don't know.
No, this is a simple question. When was the biggest increase in our national
and
debt?
Inflation goes, it's going to be closer to now. What I'm saying is what really drove.
It was as a result of the war in Afghanistan, the war in Iraq, and most recently under the One Big Beautiful Bill. So this isn't like a thing. This isn't a thing as the result of a woman, because women were involved in politics and
I just said I don't
and
support
and
that.
working. Wait, stop. Stop. It was 50 years after the 50s. So that is not the cause of why national debt's increasing, number one. It's Republicans directly
say that. I
contributing
said
to
it's the
national debt.
overall value
Well, no,
structure that's
because
ruining
you
the country.
pivoted to
You
try and be like,
throw in
well,
every
look,
point,
democratic,
and then
you
yell.
pivoted
You
to try and say,
don't
like, well,
get
look,
it. Prior to the
democratic
1950
ideas
era,
contributed to debt because of the 50s and 60s
no, you don't
civil
understand
rights
how the
stuff. But
economy
it has
even
nothing to
works.
do with that. The debt is
Prior to
only
the
increasing because of these
50s, you only
fucking wars
needed
and
one
these
household
reckless spending.
income in order to survive. Do you know why that was? Because there was only one household income, mostly in order to survive. As soon as the
This has
women
nothing
also
to do with
went
the
out into
federal debt,
workforce,
which is
guess
which
what?
is mostly
now
increased.
you need two. Now you can't survive on one. Why do you
Cool.
think that is?
The question I'm
Because
going to
the
keep
market-
asking,
because
this
the
is
market
irrelevant.
knows
This is
that
just
people
relevant
can
meandering. It's how you do
afford
it. You kept
they
doing this throughout
charge
tonight. I
it.
was watching the
So you
entire stream. You pivot from one point to one point to one point to one point to
No,
one
it's
point
the
to one
same
irrelevant thing
point.
to one
It's the
tangentially
same
related thing.
point.
None of it is addressing what I said.
It's the
Is it
same
true or is it
point.
not true that the greatest increase in national debt had nothing to do with women voting, women participating in the workplace? It had to do with the wars started by Republicans.
What is your point? My point was I vote based on overall value structure.
Yeah, my
So
point is your
here's
overall
my
value
point.
structure is
It
retarded
doesn't-
or you're lying
Dragon.
about it because clearly, evidently, you don't actually hold this. You view the national debt as an existential crisis.
No,
That
but
you vote
not
for
above the value
Republicans.
structures of the parties. I already said that 15 times.
Yeah, your
You're
value structure is
arguing with a
retarded.
straw man.
You view the national debt as an existential crisis, yet you vote for the party that furthers that
We could have
crisis
more than
over and
one
over and
crisis
over
at the same
again. That
time.
means you either don't think it's an
God,
existential
two
crisis
things
or you're
exist at
lying
once.
about it.
It broke my brain.
Dragon,
Two things
you
at
say
once. They both exist. How is this possible? Like, yeah, we could have one existential threat. I can also think that replacing all our values that we've held for the last however many hundreds of years and deconstructing them and replacing them with the opposite of those values is a big fucking mistake. That's pretty obvious to me.
A
But
big
Dragon,
mistake,
it's
sure,
just
but
like-
you don't actually care
Patriarchy
about
stand
it.
when the patriarchy's garbage now, and it's weak ass petty little men who don't
But
watch out
Dragon-
for anybody but themselves. Why
Dragon,
should that stand?
Dragon, the problem seems to be that we are in a position now where, regardless of what the conservative or Republican Party claims their values to be, it doesn't seem like any of those are actually being enacted. Obviously, they're not being held by the commander in chief, but they're not being enacted through policy or through their platform. Basically, it's like you're in a relationship and your girlfriend tells you she loves you, but then every night goes out and cheats on you.
That's what I'm saying
Eventually
to
it's
you.
like, well, it's like,
That's my
no, but she
point to
still
you.
says she loves me. I don't understand, like, where's the breaking point for someone like you where you're like, oh, well, the Republicans hold these values. Well, clearly not. They don't enact them, they don't follow them, they don't put them in the policy, even if they have a policy to put into. So at one point it's strange where it's just like Trump can continuously like slap his dick in your face and you're just like, well, this is my party. It's like it gets to a
That's
point
not
where
what I'm
like
saying. I said I didn't support the war in Iran. I said that. And
Do you
But I'm
regret
saying
voting for
you're-
Trump? Wait.
saying
Do you regret your vote for
exactly
Trump?
the thing.
Do
What
you
you're
regret
saying
voting for
to me,
Trump?
what
Do you
I'm
regret
saying
voting
to
for
you
Trump?
all
Do you
night.
regret voting for Trump? Do you regret voting for Trump?
No, for the same reason I gave 5 minutes ago.
I'm not saying you have to vote for Harris.
Okay.
I'm not saying you have voted for Harris over Trump now with the information you have now.
We've
Do you
got
agree that
Trump
voting for
better
Trump, he
fundamentally
lied and he
than
failed?
Harris.
Do you agree the Trump administration has been a failure? Do you think the Trump administration has been a failure?
Depends on what your metric is for failure. What metric are you using?
Total overall.
has Trump
fulfilling-
Trump lived up to the values that you claim that you vote for the party for? Has he lived up to those values?
He's lived up to those values more than the left would, for sure.
I'm not
To me.
asking about the left. Has Trump failed to fulfill the policies and the promises he made on the campaign trail?
Has he failed to fulfill one promise that he also said he was going to do? The other thing?
Overall, like if you have to give him like a
What
general,
else are
let's
you
say,
talking
wait,
about?
oh
Overall,
my
what?
god,
Did he close the
are we
border?
unable to understand
Oh, dude, are
English
you a
now?
fucking
Okay,
moron?
okay.
Did he close
Let
the border?
me spell
How
this
much
out
is
for you.
the
No,
net
because
immigration now?
you
Oh,
clearly
you
don't.
wanna talk about
I'm sorry.
this
I realize you have the
How much
education
is
of a
the- how many
5-year-old.
people are
I'll
coming
spell
through
this
the
out for you.
border?
Let's say we
Out
were
of
giving him a
donut?
point. Let's say we give him a point for each
Pretty
policy
effective.
fulfilled. What would you rate him? Right? If you were to say an average
Pretty
out, right? Like
effective.
let's say
On
we give
that,
him
I
like
would give him
a
an
5 out of
A+.
10 on one issue, a 0 out of 10 on one issue.
A+.
What would we
I'll give him
average
an
it
A+.
out?
A plus.
You give him an A plus.
Yeah,
That's
an
my point. You don't
A+,
care.
okay.
No new wars.
He answered your
Inflation,
question.
guys. Who gives a shit
Okay,
about any
okay,
of
okay,
this?
okay,
We
okay,
never
okay.
spoke about any of
Okay,
this.
okay.
That you don't even talk about it anymore. You pretend like it didn't even happen and just skip to all the other issues because he did such a good job.
Do you think zero? Wait, question. Do you think zero illegal immigrants have come in? Wait, do you think zero illegal immigrants have come in the past 2 years? Do you think zero illegal immigrants have come in the past 1.5 years? Wait. Do you think zero illegal immigrants have come in the past 1.5 years?
Saying that that the border is essentially closed.
Do you
That's
think
what I'm
that
saying. I
zero
don't think that
immigrants have
nobody
come in
is
through the
stuck
past
in.
1.5
You're not
years?
gonna catch me on
Do you
a
think zero
technicality.
immigrants have come in the past 1.5 years?
No, I don't think that.
Okay.
I don't think
Okay.
zero
Okay.
is coming. I think it's
Okay,
much less,
okay.
and he's been extremely effective.
We need to
closing the
move
border.
on.
I think the Democrats could have done that themselves the whole time. They just didn't.
We
Because
need
no
to
laws
move
were
on. We're
changed. They
running
just
out of
didn't even
time.
follow the law. Yeah.
We're running out of time, and I want to do two things. I want to give the new caller a chance to ask the question that they want to ask, and then I've been given some screenshots, Dragon Fist, that I want to go through with you, if that's okay. And that's what we'll do. Go ahead.
Wick, I'm gonna bow out. Wick,
Yeah, go
I'm gonna
ahead.
bow
Peace
out.
out,
Can you bring
girls.
North in? I think North would be good. You
Yeah.
should bring North in instead. All right, see ya.
Okay. Go ahead, new caller. Give us a question you got for him.
Well nuanced.
You're up. Oh, wonderful. Okay, we're having some audio issues, so we'll just bring on someone else. And sorry. North, you have... Oh, he's deafened. Is no one ready for... Okay, there he is. Good. North,
Hello.
what do you got?
Yeah. Nice to meet you, Dragonfist. I don't know if we've ever talked before. My name's North. I'm a Never Trump Republican. What do you define as conservatism? I'm very curious about that.
What do I define as conservatism for
Yeah,
me?
what makes you a conservative, or what do you think being a conservative in America stands for?
I would say upholding, traditional values as far as family structure, as far as hierarchy of importance when we're talking about like God, country, family. Like these are the most important things. I don't think that the most important things are overseas humanitarian. Like I think we should take care of people within our own borders first. It covers all aspects, right? So I don't know specifically what you're looking for. As for what a conservative is. The values that I believe in are more traditional Christian values than the current values of the left wing party. That's what I'm saying.
Okay. Do you think that Reagan was a conservative?
I think that Reagan was a conservative. Yeah, I think that
Yeah, I'm just.
what the conservative changes over time, society changes. Sure.
Okay. Wait.
you have
What
any
do you think has changed between the Reagan conservatism of then and the conservatism of now?
I don't know. It's not that very. I don't have every policy point. I'm sure things have changed. Was Obama a Democrat?
Well, he ran for the Democratic Party, so yeah, I
Okay. Has he
would.
changed any policy positions since he ran?
Yeah, but like
He support gay marriage? I
being
don't think he
affiliated with
did.
a party is different than like adopting like a political label, right? Like if you're a progressive, obviously that's like different between time period, but I don't know why being part of a specific party.
Well, not
Why are
supporting
you
gay
using
marriage and
that
then
example?
supporting gay marriage, pretty big switch.
Okay. Do you think that do you believe in sort of like the neoliberal economics of like free trade is probably going to be better for the country overall, and like less taxation might like improve the economy and all that?
And it depends again if we're wasting the money, then it's not going to be very effective. It's probably the best system that we have that we've tried so far would be a free economy. Yeah.
A free economy? Okay. What do you think about the fact that the Trump administration has taken massive steps in federal control over the economy?
I think you should like that very much. You don't like that?
I don't like the fact that the government is directly owning shares of corporations in our economy. That sounds very communist-esque to
It
me.
does. That's why I think you should like it. I don't know the details of what you're talking about.
Why should I like that? I'm a conservative. I don't like that.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I
Well,
like
you didn't
free.
say
I announced myself as an ever Trump Republican. Are you listening here?
I didn't hear you say that. Did you say that?
Yeah, I did say that. Wick, did I announce with that?
You did?
I believe you, man. I'm not like doubting what you say you are. I don't think you're like, that's fine. So what is your point? I don't understand. Not every, like they can't do everything right. Nobody can. Like they do the best they can in this system. There's checks and balances. They have to work within the political system. I'm not unrealistic. I elect people because I trust them. Like, let them finish the term. Like, let's see how it works out. You want me to like?
Yeah,
call
the
it
problem
failure?
is that we've gone through this term and
It's not
everything's getting
over.
worse. Like
Not even the midterm.
no, it's not. We're halfway through. Like we've had 2 years to see this out, and I'm a DoorDash driver. Because of my job, I pay attention to things like gas prices or like the price of groceries, for example, and like what people are like ordering or like not ordering. And I can see that the economy is visibly doing worse because of my job. It feels like these 2 years, and 2 years is a very long time. We've had a lot of fuck shit going on, and everything's like more expensive, and the government's taken over more parts of the economy. I feel like there's a massive amount of corruption in this administration too. Do you think there's a massive amount of corruption in the Trump administration?
When you say massive corruption, can you like point me in a specific direction so I know what you're referring to?
Wait, hold on. Here we are. Yeah, when I refer to massive amount of corruption, I mean specifically, Trump suing the IRS and then him being like the sole decider of like whether that case is going to like win or fail, and then attempting to pay himself like billions and billions of dollars in compensation. Like, do you consider that corrupt at all, or maybe like a conflict of interest?
He didn't do it, right?
Well, he tried to.
Oh, I mean, I think he was able to do it and pulled back because of public support not being there. So I think that's exactly.
But he tried to, right? Like that's the issue.
But he could have.
I don't think our president's. I don't think our president. Hold on. Hold on. I don't think our president should even be trying to do that. Would you agree?
He shouldn't be trying. Like he could have done it.
He shouldn't be trying to sue the IRS as the president of the United States of America, and then deciding like whether there will be a payout or how much the payout will be.
Why shouldn't he be doing that exactly?
Well, because it's a massive conflict of interest, right? Like, let's say you're like the boss of a company, and then like you sue your own company for like millions of dollars, and you're the one that decides whether you settle or not.
Like listen to the constituents and then pull back when they say it's too far. Why shouldn't he do that? I think that's much better than
like do you think that like the president of the United States should be pilfering like the coffers of the presidency?
I didn't say that. I said that sometimes
well, I'm not saying that you said it. I'm
asking
asking it's like a hypothetical question. Like let's say, okay, imagine like the president like could walk into the IRS and just like take $1 billion. Would you say that's corrupt?
Would I say it depends on like why is he taking that $1 billion?
Oh my gosh!
Is it corruption or is it not corruption? Okay. What do you mean? Well, you can't just say something is corrupt. You have to point
can you give us an example where it would not be corrupt?
Yeah, what would make it good for the president to walk in and take $1 billion from the IRS?
Well, it wouldn't be corruption if it was legal. It wouldn't be corrupt.
Okay.
If it was actually illegal and they were doing it as like fraudulent or something that like insider trading is corrupt, but it's also illegal. Like corruption implies like you're like hiding something or funneling it through, or like you're doing.
Hold on, am I mistaken? I'm pretty sure there are laws in the books that prevent the president of the United States to have like a conflict of interest. Like this is the reason why we've seen previous presidents divest from their businesses whenever they entered the office of the presidency.
Didn't he do that?
Like Jimmy Carter was like a very famous example of this. Other examples.
Didn't he do that? I'm pretty sure his kids run the Trump organization.
Say again?
Don't his kids run the Trump organization while he's president?
Sure, but he's making all that money, and they're like directly coordinating with each other. I mean, like
so
you
can
have your kids run something, but you can still use that to like enrich yourself. You understand that, right? Well, it's illegal presidency in order to enrich a company that you own probably like the majority of shares in.
Own it. We already established that. So why is it illegal?
Well, they're in control of the corporation. I don't know if they own the corporation.
He doesn't own it.
Like you understand that Donald Trump was giving multi-million-dollar contracts to his children, right? Like, do you think that's a conflict of interest?
Why is that illegal?
What's interest?
What law is he breaking?
I can't name you like the specific statute. Like you can't name a specific policy for like fixing housing, but I guarantee you that there is a law on the books that exists that prevents politicians handing out contracts to their kids. Do you think that Burisma was a corruption scandal with the Biden administration?
Yeah, I think that was illegal. I think that it's illegal.
Why was that illegal? Okay, wait, sorry. Why was Joe Biden, Burisma, illegal and corrupt, but what Donald Trump is doing with his kids, not corrupt?
Because Biden was selling access. Hunter Biden was selling access to his father. That's the difference.
Sure, what law did Hunter Biden break?
You realize that Donald Trump did that, right?
Did he? Can you point to him doing that? Like, that's
Yes,
to
the
say, if he did something
cryptocurrency.
illegal,
Yes,
then I'll
yes,
denounce
the
it. But
crypto.
you've
Yes,
just told me
the
things you don't like.
cryptocurrency. Hold on,
You told me
shut the
one
fuck up.
policy,
You
and
asked
then
for an
after that, you
example. I'm
don't.
giving you an example right now. The
Sure.
cryptocurrency scheme done by Donald Trump. You say he's not running it, well, and you said his kids are running it. So that means his kids are selling access to Donald Trump. It was whoever had a certain amount of the Trump cryptocurrency could have a dinner with the president of the United States of America. How is that not selling access to the presidency?
How is it not selling access is your question. So if it's illegal, they should prosecute him for it. I think if it was illegal, they would be prosecuting
Well,
him.
yeah,
pretty
I agree.
sure-
It is illegal, and they should prosecute from it. And
What
you know
law
what?
is
When
he
Trump is out of
breaking?
office, they are. But there's a very sad thing. The Supreme Court recently said that actually, no, we're not allowed to prosecute presidents for all
What
this
law is he
bullshit
breaking,
stuff.
though? What is the specific
Sir, what law?
that
Hold on,
says-
just real quick. What law did Hunter Biden break?
Hunter Biden was selling access to the president to a foreign
Yep.
nation without
What
registering.
law?
Then
What
that's
law
the law.
prevents
He
that?
That's
didn't
the law that
register
Donald
as a
Trump
foreign
was
agent.
breaking.
And he also possessed a firearm while he was on drugs.
Is that what we're talking about? No, that's not what we're talking
She asked
about.
me what
Those-
laws he broke. He asked me what laws he broke.
Sorry, you're asking me for the okay. Look, if we're going to make that equivalency between Hunter Biden and Donald Trump,
I gave one about it, though. I said that he
yes.
didn't
So
register
the
as a foreign.
exact law that you're referring to, Hunter Biden selling access to the vice presidency, as you claim,
He said I got
is
to
the
break
same
off
one that I'm
something
going to
for
be
the big
citing. Is the same law that I'm going to be citing Donald Trump and his kids selling access to the presidency through Trump's cryptocurrency, which, by the way, he made billions and billions of dollars off.
So, what is he supposed to do? Lose money?
Okay. I think we've. Hold on. I think we've circled the drain. I think we've circled the drain.
Why? Because
Okay.
because it's not
Here's
actually illegal. You pointed to one thing where Trump was trying to sue the IRS. He won that lawsuit and then didn't do it. He didn't implement the fund because of political pressure. So I even think it's the same thing.
Sorry,
as
he
people
won
getting-
that lawsuit? That's what he did? No, I'm pretty sure what happened was that he told the IRS to default on that lawsuit,
Yeah,
to
he
tell
could
them
have
to
done it.
lose.
It looks like he was coming close to being able to.
No,
implement that
but
fund.
he did. That's not what happened, though. There was not a judge ruling said, yes, Mr. Trump, you are the one that
backed off because of
were
political
aggrieved by the
pressure.
IRS, and you are you will be paid this specific amount. No, he told the IRS to say, lose this lawsuit and then pay me billions of dollars. That is what happened.
Okay. Because you say so.
Okay. We've come to the final segment. I'm going to let you guys go, and me and Dragon Fister are going to talk because I want to know what is with these messages that I'm seeing. Like, you've
They're
made
not
some
as
claims
crazy
on
as you
me.
think. They actually say exactly what I've been saying this whole time.
Well, we're going to go through it if you don't mind. So I'm going to let the rest of the folks go through, and we're gonna have a talk. Okay, me and you, buddy. Okay. It is Risk the World, and I am part of the world. So
You can have a talk, sure.
yeah. Gonna let you go. Mac, thanks for being here. North, love you, buddy. Okay, let me get it up. Okay, let me see so we can both see. I'm gonna share my screen. Here we go. And I'm gonna make it bigger. Can you read this? Can you see it?
Oh, it just says Wix stream.
You gotta click. You gotta click open or whatever on it, and it should pop up.
Got it.
You got it? Is it
Yes, sir.
visible? Can you see it? Can we read it together? Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. So this is between you and Sarah, correct?
Yep. That's
Yeah.
between me and Sarah.
And this is July 14th, so not too long ago. She asked you, checking in on you, how you feeling? Hey, thank you. You're a good friend. I'm starting to feel better. Hopefully tomorrow I'm 100%. Balderson, who is the gentleman we just had on, checked on me too. Who would have thought you could build good relationships like this on YouTube? It's crazy. But thank you, sir. I'm deaf better than I was. Oh, I'm so glad. I'm starting to think it's crazy to actually care about people on the internet and their well-being. Like, what the fuck? LOL. Same. Exactly how I feel. Haha. We got a good group. We do. Okay, so it seems like, at least so far, pretty good terms. It was going well, right?
I said that in the video, that me and Sarah developed a good relationship.
Yeah. Thank you so much, and thank Craig, and apologize for me. Absolutely pass it on. Now go to bed, get some rest. Love you, Sarah. They love you too, bud. Craig said to feel better, and August 3rd is perfectly fine. So you're setting up things. You're getting
Yep.
I'm assuming these are shows, these are collaborations, etc.
Setting up debates.
Setting
Yeah.
up debates. Yeah, no, makes sense. Makes sense. Then you call her for about 25 minutes. Now, according to Sarah, you are in this at least. You're upset. You're telling her that there was some sort of conflict with Andrew about her, or you found out something. Can you, in your own words, tell us about this phone calls?
To be honest, I'm not sure exactly what happened on that conversation. I don't think I was upset. Do I have an echo? I don't think I was upset.
No, yeah. No.
So I don't know if she wants to clarify on what she means by upset. And also, like the previous text, I was sick. Like, so I was saying, oh, thank you for checking on me. I don't see how that's
makes
like.
sense. Makes sense.
You hear an echo when I'm talking?
I don't hear an echo when you're talking.
Okay, good.
I don't know if anyone else does.
Very annoying.
I don't. I'm
Okay.
sorry if you do.
I don't know about the context of the conversation exactly. I have a lot of phone calls.
Okay, that's fine.
That's the truth. But you'll see as we go on, all these messages are 100% honest. That's what you're going to see here. I was
That's fair.
being honest in real time.
Sure. No, I'm not. Like I said, just full disclosure, I was not aware that this was an issue until this show. So I'm learning in real time too. So here we go, right? Like we're finding out together, audience.
Yep.
Okay, so then you text her this. She says, then he's playing content that he shouldn't technically. You say, let's see. Also, the Andrew thing was so weird. I don't know why he even said anything in the first place, because then he made it seem like just stay where you're at. It was very strange. He was like, I'm not offering a binary or something like that, but just for me, I can't. So first of all, is this Andrew here, Andrew Wilson?
Yeah, that's Andrew Wilson.
Okay, that's Andrew Wilson. What was he doing that was so weird? Can you explain?
Yeah, like because I had reached out to him a few times and he hadn't responded to me over a long period of time, and then he just came like out of nowhere. So I was like, this is weird. And like I said, Sarah's my friend. I'm being honest. Look, that's exactly what I said. He's not offering me anything. That's what I said in the video. He's not offering me like do this for this. It's exactly what I'm saying to her.
So what did he say here when you say I don't know why he even said anything?
He just
what is
came
he saying?
in and started helping me with debate prompts. He's not offering me any like, and he was helping me either way. And there was no like, if you do this, I'm gonna do this for you. Like none of that. Like the extent of what it was actually. We can finish the text and I'll give you all the context. I want to see.
Yeah, sure. Well, you say, well, I'm again, this is for me too, because I don't know. I wasn't there. I haven't learned anything, right? Like I wasn't there. And so I'm just trying to get clarity on what is meant here. Like your quote, you seem to be referring to, at least from what I read, you seem to be referring to something Andrew is saying when he says he was like, I'm not offering a binary or something like that, but just for me, I can't. What was he saying that he's not offering a binary, but for him, Andrew, he just can't? What's he referring to?
What is he referring to in that message? He's saying like, I'm not offering you, like he's saying, I can't offer you anything in general. Like, that's what he's saying. That's my point. He's not offering me anything. Well,
that's not what it reads
the
like,
message could be. He's
that's not what this reads like
offering
to me.
binary.
Sure. Just to let you know what I, as a third party, right? And in full disclosure, I don't like Andrew Wilson. Me and him have beef. So fair enough. But what he seems to be saying here, at least what you're saying that he's saying, is that he made an offer to you, but it wasn't a binary. It wasn't a yes or no. It wasn't like you either do this or else. But that for him, he just couldn't work with you unless some condition was met. And I don't know what that was.
No, that's actually the point of saying that there's no binary. Like, he's not saying I can't work with you because of this, or I can't work with you if you work with Sarah, so don't do this. And I actually had no guidance. Like, I even said it in the video. Like, I didn't know what to do or like what to say in the video or like like It's not like there was no. It's exactly the opposite of that. What I'm saying is there's no roadmap. And he was saying like, it wasn't a do this and I'm gonna help you. It wasn't that at all. That wasn't the case. So like if it was, I would say so. But you can see I'm clearly saying he's not offering me do this for this. I'm saying that to Sarah. That's literally what I'm saying.
Okay, this seems to be some sort of transcript, and I know it's hard to read on your guys' end. And I can't make it any bigger, unfortunately. So I'll just read it to you. And this is to our Andrew. I'll tell you right now, Andrew Dragonfist TV, our Andrew, good Andrew, it's going to that debate. He's had plenty. Lunch afterward and everything like that, but our Andrew has been able to give him pushback without any issues. What is this referring to? I don't actually know.
That's from a clip from Cool Vic, where he pulled up a part of Sarah's stream. I actually have it on my phone. I can send it to you if you want. It's only a minute long, where
Sure.
he pulls up Sarah saying something about our Andrew can't do this, our Andrew can't do that, and then like me kind of getting roasted and I did say this was a deciding factor for me. See, I'm being honest.
Sure, if
This
you want to
was a
send me that,
factor.
we can play it.
Yeah.
Yeah, just send it to
Oh,
me in the Discord DMs, and I'll put that on the screen, and we can watch that. And you're saying Cool Vic shared this with you?
It was on his stream.
Okay. Or so he did a stream with it. He showed it on his stream.
Yeah, he showed it on his stream. He showed her like late night Sleepy Tomato.
Okay. Yeah, just send it to me, and here and we'll take a minute to watch it.
I got it right here. All right, hold on one second.
While you're doing that, while you're sending it to me, Sarah is saying that you said that, quote, or Andrew said at least to you, quote, I can't have a meaningful relationship with you if you associate with certain people.
Well, as an objective for like the conservative movement, it was explained that certain people in the movement, not even him specifically, don't want to associate with people that have lawsuits. That's reasonable to me. I put that in the video as well. Like I understand.
So he did say that to you, to be clear. Andrew Wilson told you that I can't have a meaningful relationship with you if you associate with certain people. Did he say that?
I'd have to go back and look at every message, which I'm not going to share my messages.
That's
with him.
fine. I'm not asking you to. I'm just asking you.
But no, to my recollection, it was not specific to him. Like I had asked him a question about, I don't even want to say who, about other prominent members of the conservative movement that I used to speak to in the past that no longer spoke to me, things like that. I asked him about it. And he just said as a vague that people, prominent people or whatever, whoever it is, don't want to associate with in the orbit of people that are filing lawsuits. That to me is a true statement because it's the same thing that I experienced in life and business. Like if someone was talking about a lawsuit, they were like, no one wanted to associate with them. Even if they said this breaks this regulation or this is illegal or you can't do that technically, people don't like that shit. So to me, I understood it. And that was a defining moment for me where I'm like, am I on the wrong side of this?
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to.
No, I get you. I get what you're saying. what you're saying. But he did say this to you. Like you understand why he said it to you. But he did say this to you. Yeah.
Not about him specifically. Like, he's not going to do it if I just as
no. I'm just going to quote again, just to be clear
about other people.
Sure. Just so we're clear, he said in all the contacts that you gave me, right? And we're going to apply that to that. That's fair. But he does say, I can't have a meaningful relationship with you if you associate with certain people. And then again, all the reasons you laid out, all the justifications that were made, we're going to apply that. But I just want to make sure that's what he said.
Again, I don't think that's what was said word for word. I'd have to go back and check. So
but the gist of it?
The gist of it was a hypothetical about the conservative movement, about other people and why they're not associating.
So basically hypothetically, if you were to continue to associate with certain people, I don't know if I could work with you, man. Something like that.
More of like, why do you know why these people won't answer me? And like hypothetically, I would say this is why they won't speak to you. But like, there was more like that. It wasn't like, do this or I'm not going to have a relationship with you. Do this or I'm not going to talk to you anymore. Okay. It wasn't anything like that.
Sure. If you want to send me, The video.
Oh, this file exceeds the size limit.
Well, shit. Twitter. Do you would that work on Twitter? Could you send it to me on Twitter? I can check the chat.
Maybe I can email it. Hold on, let me try to send it on Twitter.
Yeah.
Or I can upload it and share it.
I mean, whatever you want to do. Regardless,
Yeah.
though, man, like, I'm just gonna be real with you. If he did say something to this effect, that does feel like he's telling you, basically, hey, if you work with this person, I don't know if I can associate with you.
Well, as a general rule, if nobody in the conservative movement wanted to associate with people that were filing lawsuits, I would understand that.
No, you can. That's
Like,
a
well, I
fair to
wouldn't
say
either.
that you
I take the
understand
same
it.
position.
But he did.
Yeah.
He did basically say he did threaten you with this. This is a
No,
threat.
he didn't threaten me.
That
I
no,
even
that
said,
is
no
that is a
problem,
threat though, man.
Not at all.
Like if I
He
told
didn't
you, if
threaten
I
me.
told
I
you,
didn't take it that way.
if
You're
you
trying to,
were
like,
to,
make me say
if I
something.
told you, like, hey man, I like setting up debates with you. I like hosting you. I think you're a good guy, but you know, if you're working with Andrew Wilson, I don't know if I can do that anymore. That's a threat, right? Like that's me saying,
No.
like, hey, that's threatening you.
I didn't take it that way at all.
Okay.
I think even my follow-up message was like, no problem. Like, I'm good. Like, I'll just work by myself at fighting the left. I don't care. I didn't even at this point, like the basic gist of the whole thing for me was just like, what is the right thing to do here? Like, there was no pressure. Like, I don't know how much clearer I could be here. There was no pressure in any way or a threat from Andrew at all. It was like the opposite.
Sure,
It
dude,
was
but do
like
you
him
think
trying
that
to
there's
say,
an
"I'm definitely
implied
not
pressure?
doing
I understand
this."
he doesn't have
That
to
was
say
the
it.
more of the bye-bye guy.
Sure.
Was like, you think he's like saying something secretive, like trying to like sneak in like a hidden message. I'm saying, no, I think he was literally saying like,
no, I
I'm
think
not
that
doing
there's
that.
I think there's an there's an implied loss of support that would otherwise gain you a lot of access and opportunity. As you said, he's working with Turning Point USA right now. He's been on Joe Rogan. He is, and I think he said this to me, he's able to get on any platform, any debate platform that he wants, and he's able to give that access to others. He's told people like Ryan Mullally that he is careful what he says and what he does to people because he is kind of a kingmaker in this space. What he says or does have huge ramifications in the space. So when you have someone with that kind of power, if I may, if you have someone with that kind of power and influence telling you, hey man, I don't know if I can work with you anymore if you work with this person, there is a lot of implied pressure, whether he says it directly or not, that is absolutely implying a huge amounts of pressure on you.
Well, I'm telling you, I didn't take it that way at all. I took it like as the opposite of that. I'm just telling you the honest truth. I didn't take it as him pressuring me. That's why I said to Sarah, like, it's weird. He's not pressuring me. Like, that was my point of that message. Like I'm not going to turn around and say he was when he really wasn't. Like he wasn't pressuring me in any way, and that was a response to a question that I asked him. I asked him about two specific people in the movement. He gave me a vague hypothetical answer, which I already knew was the truth. I already knew it. Like, you know, when you're like, you know something, like you already know something is right, you know it, but like you get like a confirmation that like this may be the actual, like that's all it was. It wasn't like him like making some revelation. Like everyone knows that people don't want to be in the orbit of people that are suing people. Like that's obvious. And like I said, I didn't know that when I started with Sarah. Andrew had nothing to do. More of what had to do with this was the perception on Vic's stream, was me finding out about the lawsuit, was me being at the lunch with Brian Shapiro, like nothing with Andrew. I'm not just saying that. That is that you could read my messages to Sarah. They literally say like, this is weird. He's not offering me it. Like, it's weird, right? Like, and he didn't ever. So at least be fair to the guy.
I'm just calling it like I see it, man. Let's finish the messages if you want until you get there. But here's another message.
I have it. I just don't know what to do with it.
If like I said, if you can send it to me, link it to me on Twitter and in the Twitter DMs. Just DM me on Twitter at wick-tv, and or maybe at wick-tv. I don't know if there's a dash in there. I'd have to check. Yeah, and I can just watch it from there. It's no biggie.
All right. So if I go into the chat here on Twitter, search for Wick TV.
Yeah, if you just search Wick, you should find me. WHICK. Yeah. Wick TV.
Bane of Christian
Yes,
nationalists.
that's it, baby. My message should be open. Just send me a message with the link, and once we get through
Damn it,
these,
failed.
we'll watch it.
It says failed. Do you want me to just play it? Is there a way I can?
Yeah, if you want to, let's see. If you want to open it up on a program and share your screen, we can watch it there.
Okay, I have it opened.
Okay, if you click share your screen, you should be able to share your screen.
Let me see if it just lets me open this one, or if I have to share the whole screen.
Or if it's on a stream, just link me to that stream with the timestamp, and we can watch it that way.
Now, I'm pretty sure it's well, it's at the end of my video.
Sure, yeah. Just link me on Discord. Just link it to me. We'll open it up, and we'll just watch it together. How's that? Easy peasy.
1 second. Sorry, dude.
No worries. I know this is kind of like impromptu, but this is the best way, I think, to find truth, because neither of us have had time to do any kind of spinning, right? We can't really. I'm just learning what's going on, and so I can't try to spin this or anything. I'm just like, this is off the dome stuff, right? So.
Okay, I'm gonna give you a timestamp here.
Yeah.
And
Please
send you a video. Let me go to it. You're just gonna get like little pieces of it here. It might be a little underwhelming, but
yeah. Well, if you wanted to show it, we'll watch it.
yeah, sure.
Easy peasy.
Okay. So here's the video.
And link it to me in Discord.
Link. Discord. Go to Wick. You could probably see what I'm doing here, right? Oh, I gotta go to messages.
Yeah, just go in the messages. Should be right there.
Right here. I'm new at Discord.
Nothing worked, including and especially.
Okay, did you link me to the timestamp, or do you have one for me?
Hold on, let me get back into the room, and then I will.
Sure.
Let me get back into the pit, and then I will pull up the timestamps for you. It's toward the end. Do you have it up? Oh, I gotta hit watch stream.
Yeah.
So I would move. Yeah, it's right there.
Right here?
There. Yep.
Okay, let's watch it. I'll turn it up so we can hear it. You ready?
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you right now, Andrew Dragon Fist TV, our Andrew, good Andrew, but our Andrew has been able to give him pushback without any issues.
I'll give her that. That's true. Shit. Rachel for the 999. Somebody should warn Dragon Fist that she is referring to him as her Andrew. That's only going to end one way if he does not fulfill her Delulu fantasies, frivolous legal action. Yeah, that's actually a good point. If Dragon Fist is still in the chat, you better be careful, Bucko. That's all I'm going to say. Thank you very much, Rachel, for your support.
He will have you arrested for hate crime for being bald phobic. Yeah, exactly.
So that's pretty much it.
Okay. What are we taking away here from this?
Well, my girl didn't like that. So this is another factor of why I left Sarah's channel. Is my girl didn't like that R. Andrew statement, which I think is pretty reasonable.
Yeah. So to ask, had Sarah like come on to you before this?
No, Sarah didn't come on to me.
Didn't come on
but
to
still,
you?
nobody's
No,
girl is
no,
gonna
no,
like
no,
that.
no, sure. But because Rachel Wilson implied in that super chat that Sarah was trying to fuck you, and your girl saw that, but as you said, there was no flirting beforehand. She wasn't coming on to you.
I don't think that's the implication. There is that. I don't think that's the implication.
To me, it sounds like Rachel was
claiming
trying to
ownership
fuck with
over you.
Right.
I think she's just saying like Sarah's claiming ownership over you, which is how I took it. Again, like I don't have
Hold on,
this,
you
like,
didn't take that in any. Hold on, then why did your girl seem to take it the way I'm taking it?
she just doesn't like that. She thinks like if you're anybody's Andrew, you're my Andrew. Like, why is she claiming ownership over you? My girl's pretty reasonable. I don't think she ever thought like I was gonna. She's met Sarah. I don't think she's ever thought I was gonna hook up with Sarah. I really don't think that. But still, she doesn't like it, which I can be respectful of. And that's just one part of it. It was like that was just like the final like.
Okay, what was the other part that was a problem?
So as I was finding out about the lawsuit was the first part. Like I said, both in my family life and in my business before YouTube, I understood why suing people is the wrong move, why people don't associate with people who are suing other people. I understood that already. So that plus then being in this lunch with Brian Shapiro and Sarah, kind of being on the wrong side of this, right? Like my political side is not Brian Shapiro, right? I mean, we can tell that. So like sitting there while someone, a very prominent channel, not anything like mine, a very, very prominent channel that's working with Turning Point USA, I'm sitting here with the enemy. That's all me, like nothing to do with Andrew.
Just to be clear, he did say though that if you continue to associate with certain people, he doesn't know he's going to work with you anymore, right?
He said in general, like people don't associate with people that are fine, but that's just a true statement. Like,
yeah,
that's
but
like
if you
me
say,
saying, like,
hold on,
people
if
need
you
to
say
eat
that
food.
while we both
Like,
know there's a lawsuit going on, we know what we're referring to. We don't have to play that game, right? We don't have to pretend. We know
it's
he's
still
referring to
objectively
Sarah.
true. It's not a threat.
We know he's
It's
referring to Sarah here. Can we just
Yeah.
admit that?
Yes.
Yes, so he is referring to Sarah when that's the certain people, right? That's the certain people we're talking about. I get it, you get it, we all get
Well,
it,
any
right?
lawsuits
And I
in the
understand that it
future,
wasn't a direct.
it also-
I understand. No, I'm
Easy.
going to grant you something. I understand that he didn't directly say stop or else. He didn't say that. I'm granting
Definitely
you this.
not.
But him saying, I don't know if I can associate with you if you keep working with Sarah, does imply a lot. It puts a lot of pressure on you, and it's meant to get you to stop working with Sarah.
You could make that, I guess, assessment, but I'm not going to speak to like the guy's mindset. I can only speak to what he said to me. That's not fair, right? What if that's not true?
We speak to people's
I take it
mindsets all
like
the
this.
time. Okay.
But I take it like this. What he said was objectively true, right? That's how I take it. Like he said something that's objectively a
Yes,
true
it was
statement.
objectively true that he couldn't associate
Right.
with you if you worked with Sarah. Yes, that's objectively
Or
true.
anybody that's filing. It's like it's not just see this is what you mean. Like first of all, it was made clear that there's no deal to be there's no deal being made. They were like that this is extremely clear. So that takes away your whole point that you're trying to make, like they offer something and then like no, that was the opposite of that. I asked a question about like certain other people that I wanted to communicate with, that I wanted to work with possibly, and he just made a general claim about something that you just admit is factually true overall. So this is what I'm saying is why it doesn't have to be that. Because I also took it, I'm not just saying this, as if he said, like if tomorrow somebody else came out with a lawsuit against him, or not even just him, any conservative channel, like a Turning Point, whatever it is, like it would be the same for that. It's not specific to Sarah. It's like in general, this is like the way
But it
that
was
they,
during
like, why
that
is that bad?
specific
That's obvious.
incident where he was specifically, as you mentioned and as you admitted, referring specifically to Sarah with this. It was understood by all parties involved. He's talking about Sarah when he says this. And he's saying, I can't work with you unless you ditch Sarah. That's a threat. That's a threat, man. It just is. Let's read this last text that you sent here.
Yeah, but again, I didn't take it in any way as a threat at all.
Okay.
Not even close. No
Sure.
pressure felt. I'm just
Okay.
saying that it's the truth. It's the truth.
Okay.
It was just what's the right thing to do here is really what it came down to for me. Like what
Fair
is
enough.
the actual right thing? And that's really what this
really interesting how the right thing and your opportunities happen to just
What
align real good.
opportunities?
Opportunities to get into a team Turning Point USA. Opportunities to have Andrew Wilson himself, the Kingmaker, help you with your debate prompts. Opportunities with
He was
being
already
known to be
doing that.
associated with Andrew
was
Wilson.
already
This gives
doing
you
that.
opportunities. It absolutely does.
So he was helping me to like manipulate me. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Like he was already helping me.
Yes. Yes, he's
I didn't take
manipulated
it that
you.
I really didn't. If he did, I
Yeah,
really
a good
took it
manipulator,
more as
you won't know you're manipulated, buddy. A
sure,
good
but
manipulator, you'll never know you've been manipulated.
sure, that is true.
Yes, that's what I'm telling you,
I
man.
don't agree though, being involved in the conversation that this was more like, yo,
Look,
I'm helping you out, I'm looking out for you,
sure,
like this is
I
what it
understand.
is, and I already
I'm
knew
a
that.
third party here. I do have my biases. That's true. But I'm just reading these messages and I'm hearing what you're telling me and what you're saying to me. And man, he threatened you and he said, unless I get my way, not directly, but indirectly, he said, unless I get my way, I'm just not going to work with you. And I understand the pressures because I'm a creator too. I understand the pressures of saying, ooh, someone's not going to work with you that has all this access. That's going to make it much harder to get debates, much harder to make money, much harder to get clout. Yeah, it's a lot. So I get it, and I understand why you made the decision you did. I get it.
I asked him a question. Like, what if I didn't ask that question? Like, he was only like he manipulated me by like me asking to be like it doesn't make sense like that. Like if you read my text, is I know you guys want it to be this like originally, like that's why I'm saying if you read my message, I'm saying flat out like he's literally not offering me anything. That's what the message says. Like so I don't know what hidden thing you think that I'm like there's no offer, I'm not being offered anything. Like it was explicitly clear, and like I was just, this is what I think is the right thing. And just things that I already knew were just affirmed. Like there was nothing. It was a big nothing burger, really, honestly.
Fair enough. Last message. You say, don't worry. Or she says, this is Sarah. She says, I definitely didn't say my. And you say, don't worry. I have to play this game a little, or they will hate me too. I knew you were there. Rachel made it a point to that. That whole thing was fucked up. I didn't know they went that hard on you. I've never really watched. The whole show is a roast. So it sounds like to me you're acknowledging like if I don't play along, they're gonna fucking hate me.
Yeah, of course. I'm not going to go on there and be like, oh, and like defend everything that they're making fun of me almost. Like I'm not going to do that. Why would I do that?
Yeah, what game are you playing, man? Like you say, you have to play this little game. I
Like,
should say. Sorry,
not a game, but we're here online. Like we want to like appeal to the audience. Like it's not a game. I said it in the video. Like I developed a genuine relationship with Sarah. That's why I don't mind. Like any text you can show, they're genuine, dude. Like this is a genuine exchange. So I don't like feel like I'm figuring it out as we're going. So I don't like, and then I figure out what the right thing to do is. Let me fix the camera.
Yeah, take your time. Yeah, but I understand. Look, whether you work with Sarah or not, no skin off my nose, frankly. I just don't know why it's so hard to just admit that, yeah, there was some pressure put on me to make this decision. And you could agree, even with the pressure, it was still the right decision. But there was absolutely pressure.
Pressure, honestly, that I felt was to stay with Sarah. But not again. It's not pressure that she put on me, but that's really where I felt pressured not to. Like it was difficult to do this, like because I'm literally doing it like with the promise of nothing. So like with the thought of maybe just working by myself. Like I don't care, I'll do that. But the pressure was from like not losing the stuff I already had booked, not going to Vegas, and not going on Sean Kelly's show, not debating. I had a debate on August 3rd, pretty good debate that I like wanted to book for a long time on Sarah's channel. Just giving that up and making this video with things that weren't easy to say. I'm not lying. Like that's the correct, like this is just me being honest in real time.
We can acknowledge that there are competing pressures. There are, right? As you said, there's the social pressure that you felt from being Sarah's friend or friendly with Sarah, at least.
Yeah.
From that community. I will acknowledge that. That exists. But we can't just pretend that Andrew Wilson wasn't also exerting a different kind of pressure on you. One of access, one of opportunity, one of association. And these things matter, especially in the digital space. Especially when Andrew Wilson has basically again, has so much access and clout in the right-wing sphere, right? In that sphere of things. As you mentioned, he's working with Turning Point USA. He's got so much going on, right? Like, he's the guy you go to when you want to make it in that space. Like, so yes, we acknowledge that there was some social pressure to stay with Sarah. That's true. But you got to recognize that the other pressure also existed.
Not to the same extent that it was to stay with Sarah. Like, I'm not showing messages, but I could pull up messages from Balderson that he sent me, like accusing me of trying to hurt a single mother with health problems, like by doing this to Sarah. Like, that's actual pressure. Like, I have that message in my phone. What I'm saying to you is what came from the will. I know you don't want it to be this way. Nobody wants it to be this way.
Why do you keep saying what way I want it to be? I don't care.
Pressure.
I'm going to be real with you. This is funny to me because either way, Andrew Wilson looks like this is bad look for Andrew Wilson no matter what you do, right? It's just a bad look for him. So I win either way. So what you decide, I don't care. I'm going to be real with you.
But you're trying to spin this into like an Andrew Wilson caused this, and he didn't.
He absolutely exerted pressure on you, man.
He didn't. He did. I asked him a question. Like,
he said, I don't know if I can continue to work with you if you're working with Sarah.
Not him specifically, just in general. Like, this is the way things work. I already knew that. Okay. Like, I already knew it. That's what I'm saying. You're trying to pin something on him of like, do this or I'm not going to work with you. Like, some like hidden pressure that I'm literally saying, and it says in that text wasn't there. Like, so I'm not going to admit to something that I didn't.
Where in the text did you? I don't know.
Like, not offering me any type of binary. I even said it. I said that in the message. That means this is not like he's not offering me do this for this.
You said and I'm going to quote. This is your quote. He says he was like, I'm not offering a binary or something like that, but just for me, I can't. You ever hear the saying, everything before the but doesn't really matter? Right? It's the but after the end. That is, again, in English and grammar, that shows what he's actually saying, which is, for me, I can't. And he's laying it out for you. He's being very clear. He's saying, if you continue to associate with certain people, meaning Sarah, he can't work with you.
Right. Nobody wants to work with someone that's filing a lawsuit. Why is that like top page news? Why is that like crazy news? Like that, this is like life.
Look,
like,
it's not,
to pin it on him.
It's not crazy. This is not surprising. No one is shocked, right?
Yeah.
And that's why it's weird that you just can't admit that that's what he's doing, because it's not shocking. Of course he's going to do that.
If that was the case, though, like, why wouldn't I be working with him? Like, it doesn't make any sense.
Well, hold on. What do you mean?
Like, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing any collaborations with him. I'm not doing anything with him. So what are you, like, where is the...
It's the future. It's what you may do in the future. It's the opportunities you may have in the future.
That's on me. I have to do a good job and produce good things and also be in a position where I'm not associated in the orbit with people that are filing lawsuits.
Let me just ask you directly. Let me just ask you directly. Do you have plans in the foreseeable future to associate with Andrew Wilson? And what are those plans?
Do not.
So no plans.
Do not.
Okay.
Nope.
Fair enough.
And I'm sure like everything you guys can do now, I'm sure he's not going to fucking book anything with me now. You're making it look like I'm the one that fucking...
Look, you can work with Andrew Wilson all you like, man. I will still have you on. I will still work with you. I will still message you. We're still buddies, right? No matter how you decide here. Like, I'm not giving you any ultimatum. There's no pressure on my end, right? Or at least from my end. So if you want to work with Andrew Wilson, go ahead. I'm just asking you if you have plans to in the future.
I do not have plans to. What I have plans to do is to keep doing this to the best of my ability and to grow to a point where his channel or another channel like that, possibly I could work with them in the future, possibly, but there's no plans of anything like that now. And I know that I have a lot of work to do before I get there anyway. It has nothing, and I consider that part of my work. I consider this part of my work. Like me associating with people, like that's what I want to say. This has nothing to do with him. This is 100% me. Me associating with people that are filing lawsuits against people in the conservative movement is not a good position for me. That's it. It has nothing, whether I work with him, don't work with him, like it puts me in the best position to be effective, to not do that. Does that make sense? That's what this is about.
To not do what?
100%.
It doesn't actually. So
To not be associated with people that are filing
to not be
lawsuits
associated
against
with
prominent
Sarah.
figures of these
Sure.
conservative movement.
Yeah, so you're
That's
not
my
being
call.
associated with Sarah because
I'm not filing lawsuits. I
you're
don't want to be
worried.
involved.
Sure, that you're worried that it's going to hurt your chances with other right wing, like working with the right wing, and because you think that not working with Sarah is the right thing to do, because in your view, Sarah is attacking right wingers by her lawsuit. Is that
That's correct.
accurate?
If you hurt the
Well,
crucible,
hold
you're
on. But
fundamentally
in that
hurting-
same vein though, wouldn't Andrew Wilson also being attacking right wingers by putting that pressure and making that kind of suggestion to you? Wouldn't that also be an attack against right wingers?
didn't. There was like zero pressure. I told you all the pressure that I felt came from
Sure.
not doing this. I could show you messages. Like you already read my messages that said there was no
I
pressure.
don't know, man. It's just one of those
Surprised
things
about
where
it.
I say, well, you don't have to, but it's the but that gets you, right? It's the but that gets you. But anyway, I do have to go
guess you're-
soon, and I wanna say a couple things to my audience. What do you have coming up? Where can people find you? I have a link to his YouTube in my description if you want to follow this lovely gentleman. And I do want to sincerely thank you for coming on and running the gauntlet, so to speak. It was fun. I enjoyed it. But
enjoyed
give your pitch. Give your pitch to people. Go ahead.
Yeah, if you guys want to follow this drama or anything else, follow me, Dragon Fist TV. I will be debating lefties quite regularly. And check it out. You guys, you see, I'm trying to bridge the gap here. I'm trying to talk to you guys reasonably, but it doesn't seem like I'm getting that reciprocated. So I'm going to keep trying or keep fighting the left.
I think
in
I've
its own
been
spaces
reasonable
like
to
this.
you, man, but fair.
You have.
Sure.
You have. I'll give you that. You were pretty fair tonight.
Yeah, okay, well, check him out, gang. Give him a follow. Give him a thing. I'm going to let you go, and then I'm going to speak to my audience, okay? I love you. Bye.
Thanks, brother.
Ooh. We had a little surprise drama today. I didn't know that was happening, but it was I don't know, it was interesting to me. I'll read the super chats, don't worry, we'll get to them. But bros, just to let you know, if someone comes up to you and is like, I don't know if I can help you if you associate with certain types, right? It's like a guy coming up to you, say you own a business, and a guy comes up to you and says, it'd be a shame if something were to happen to your business. And I'm not saying anything's going to happen to your business here, but you should think about getting some protection because, it'd be a shame if someone come in here and break all these nice things. It would be a shame. Though we just happen to have a protection company and no pressure or anything. I'm just letting you know. Look, gang, we don't have to play stupid. We know what's going on in these situations. We understand it. We get it, right? This isn't hard to understand. Andrew Wilson fucking pressured the shit out of this guy to not work with Sarah anymore. That's what the messages I saw showed. When I spoke to him, he admitted he knew that Andrew Wilson was referring to Sarah here. He admitted he knew that there was going to be loss of opportunities if he didn't, right? Because again, he says, Wilson tells him directly, but for me, I just can't, right? These are direct things that he's said and he's admitted to saying. It's clear. Now, you could say, even with the pressure put on, that it was still the right call, right? That's a judgment call that you'll have to make, right? The morality of it, it's up to you. I don't have, I like Sarah, to be clear, and I don't like Wilson, but I mean, look, this is a this is right on right violence, what we're witnessing right here. And that's why it's kind of funny. Yeah, I don't know. It's like we turn our brains off when it's people we like, right? We turn our brains off when it's people we don't want to, like, we are purposely not looking at the elephant in the room. Like, we can understand that this is obviously a form of pressure. There's obviously huge amounts of pressure put on you when a very large content creator makes a demand or gives you an ultimatum, or even in a soft way says something like, I don't know if I can continue to associate with you if you work with this person. I felt pressure, and I would never deny I did not feel pressure. When Destiny said, hey, I don't know if I can associate with you if you still have Doobie in your community. There was pressure there. It would be silly of me to pretend that there was no pressure there. Was there other pressures? Absolutely. But there was pressure there. That's absolutely true. Now, other factors come into play, and you make your decision. But yeah, that's just an obvious truism. It's an obvious truism, okay? When a large creator comes to you and says, I don't know if I can work with you anymore or associate with you anymore, if you still have this person in your community or if you still associate with this person, yes, it's a form of pressure. Now, me and Destiny, we were adults, and we were able to hash that out. And I was able to say, well, you know what? I'm not going to kick Doobie out. And, but we came to an arrangement where I was able to not bend to the pressure. I found an escape valve, right? Now, since then, Doobie has shown his true colors and has been a real asshole to me specifically. So fuck that guy. C-Sam Batman there. But the statement stands. The pressure was there. And it's what you do under pressure that shows who you are. $50 from Carpenter Tom. Some climb by stepping on others. Others climb while building steps as they go for others to follow. Thank you for that. Let me see what other super chats you guys have given me. Okay. I think this is where we left off. $10 from Raging Tomato says, Dragon Fist, how was the strip club in Vegas? Good question. €5 from DT says, F-tier Graper keeps crying about being dunked on while attacking others for being too emotional. Funny. $2 from Paz. Fist demands absolute proof, but he could be 99% wrong. Thank you for the $2. $5 from Old Scotty. I live in a deep red state that has been focusing on homelessness by destroying their personal property and running them out to town. Damn. $10 from Dirty Deeds. The two policies he brought up, mental health and drug issues, are more closely related to the perpetually homeless and repeat offenders. No one cares about the homeless. They care when it's dangerous. That's true. $5 from Rift Cripper. Hey, Wick. Thanks for being one of the most base dudes. That's all. Well, thank you. I appreciate the $5. $5 from Nick Woostrock. Dragon Fist likes to use the phrase emotional blackmail. Could you talk more about how USAID was sending money to people who practice chattel slavery? ? I guess that was an argument he made in the USAID debate with Destiny. So, sorry. Give me a second. I got a thirst, gang. I got a thirst. $5 from Hell's Pacifist. They asked for a second step, not everything. Your commitment to coasting at your current level of understanding is truly impressive. It took an hour. Fair enough. $20 from the Raging Tomato with popcorn emojis. It was popcorn. It was interesting. I don't know the goings on of that sphere. Like, we have our left lib drama that we go through with Hassan versus Destiny and all that. And I'm very involved in that because it affects me and I'm involved in the drama in various cases, right? There's back and forth. So it's nice. It's just nice and interesting to see some right on right action, okay? Just for me. It's just like a treat, okay? Just like, oh, neat. I'm glad we're not the only ones with crazy shit. $5 from Evil Elrond to say, who's a bearded guy? I want to join his Discord. He vibes with me. That was Balderson. And you can check him out. I don't know if he has a Discord or not. $5 from Kung Fu Joe. Dragon Fist is based, not doing business with women anymore. Welcome to the club, buddy. Is that the thing? Don't do business with women? Fair enough. $2 from Old Scotty says, who gives a fuck? I give a fuck. It's interesting to me, and it's my show. That's who gives a fuck, Old Scotty. I do. I wanted to hear it. I'm curious. I didn't know this was a thing until people started talking about it and DMing me during the show, and it interested me, and I wanted to look. Oh, Twitch is saying stuff. Like, Twitch, do you guys know, like, Twitch, I love you, Twitch, but you guys don't make me money. All my money's on YouTube. All my viewers are on YouTube. Like, checking my Twitch tracker to check to see what my numbers are is a little silly, right? It's literally a tenth of what my viewership is right now. But fair enough. I do it for you guys because there's no cost to it, really. Okay, €2 from DT to say fake pre-supper tries to ground his logic and fails. $5 from Kung Fu Joe. The guy found out he was working with liberals and undercover feminists and felt like he had to go. What's the problem? Who is the liberal he was working with? And the undercover feminist? I'm just really curious. Joe, if you want to jump on, I'd be happy to have you. $2 from my listening library to say, don't mess up my drama with political talk, new guy. Fair enough. $10 from the Raging Tomato to say, I dropped some pretty pics in my Discord for those who love receipts. And I'm thinking she's referring to the messages that she sent me. $5 from Kung Fu Joe to say, the Dragon Fist, defending your vote is easy. Republicans are just closer to Christian values than Democrats. Simple. Well, Kung Fu Joe, that's not true, but fair enough. $2 from, thank you for the $5. $2 from Fia Quito. What's worse, Biden on Afghanistan or Trump on Iran? Trump on Iran, 100%. $20 from the Raging Tomato to say lying sack of poop emojis. $10 from the Raging Tomato. Fun fact, Andrew brought Brian's lunch and chose to go with me that day to Brian's studio for my debate with Brian. Are we talking, well, which, okay. Andrew Dragonfist? Or the other Andrew? I think it's Andrew Dragonfist, right? Because they went with you. And Brian Shapiro, I'm assuming? I'd actually never met Brian Shapiro or talked to him. I know who he is, but yeah. $5 for Testicle Johnson says, poor dragon has to ask for permission for who to associate with, crying emoji. $10 from the Raging Tomato says, genuinely, quote unquote, you didn't even have the tennis balls to call me first. Damn. $5 from the Trib One. I know you're trying to be fair here, Wick, but he's simply a cuck. Like, he enjoys this, Wick. If a grown man wants to act like this, who are we to help? I am trying to understand what is happening. I want to know what went on. And that's why I was asking the question. This isn't help or hurt. I'm not trying to fix a problem or solve a problem or make a problem worse, really. I just want to know what's going on because I'm curious. That's it. Admiral Gibbs says, you know who was at Vegas? Were you at Vegas? Gibbs, did you see any of this? Were you involved in any of this? Do you have the scoop? Can you tell us who's telling the truth? Right? Did Andrew Wilson pressure Andrew Dragonfist? Is that a thing that happened? Do you know? You do have the scoop? Maybe I'll have you call in a second. Let me read these super chats. $10 from the Raging Tomato to say, I'm a right-winger. Someone attacked me. $10 more from the Raging Tomato. Under pressure. Dun, 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 dun. I'm pressuring you all to send Wick more money. True. And it is real pressure. And you should feel it. And you should respond accordingly. $10 from Io Tono. Nice show. Just subscribed. Came here from the Raging Tomato. Well, I'm glad you like it. I'm sure you will get mad at me as soon as we fight about, as soon as I start fighting right-wingers. I'm sure that will happen. But for the time I have you, thank you for being here. $10 from Spin City News for Because Sarah Said So. True. I love it. $100. Woo, a hundo. Benjamin. Okay, a Benjamin from the Raging Tomato. Mater Nation, hard work from Wick today. Y'all should pay for the entertainment. Look, no offense, Sarah, but this wasn't for you. I was just curious, okay? But I do appreciate the money. But no, I just wanted to know what was going on. It's, I don't know, it's crazy. And the Trib won 10, count them, 10 Wick TV gift memberships. I appreciate you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, Gibbs, jump backstage. I want you to verify things or not verify things or tell people who was lying or who was telling the truth. If you were there, I want to know. I'm curious. What is going on? Why are people tagging me in Discord? Okay, we're gonna give Gibbs a minute. We're gonna give Gibbs a minute. Kung Fu Joe says, I got banned, so I can't jump on. Who banned you? Someone unbanned. Well, hold on. What did you do to get banned? I guess I should ask that first. What did you do to get banned, man? I'll ask my mod team too, because I'm not sure. He yelled at a mod. You shouldn't yell at your mods. Check my channel. Let me look. Let me check. We do have a logging accountability thing. After multiple repeat offenses related to slurs and now additional weird 41% posting and Holocaust denial, I think you've ran your course here. Yeah, man. Fair enough. Like, I see why they banned you, buddy. $2 from the Trib One to say this is brought to you by the Raging Tomato and APAC. Thank you for the $2. Okay, we got Gibbs on here. Okay, Gibbs, you were there at the Vegas trip. What's going on?
Yeah, I mean, so long story short, yeah, let me turn my camera on. Yeah, it's really pathetic what has happened so far that I've seen. So I was there in Vegas, and guys, I just want to go on record. I'm a little bit of a degenerate, so when I tell you some of these things that I'm about to tell you, don't be surprised because I claim what I am, right? Like I'm a conservative, but I'm like pretty socially.
Oh, I know. We've hung out in Vegas before.
Yeah, I like to party a little bit.
Okay,
right? And so
can
when
confirm.
I tell you, I got overruled for what I wanted to do one of the nights. I wanted to go to Omnia with Barbie Hayden and a bunch of fucking models, but no, we ended up at the strip club with Brian Shapiro and all them. Listen, I gotta say, for as much as he was saying, like he didn't like Brian, he didn't do all these things, he shouldn't have a problem, getting lap dances and smelling a whiff of these nude people and smoking the hookah with Brian and shit when he was hanging out with them. I mean, I guess that's like real Christian behavior. I don't want to like really like I actually like Dragon Fist. I don't have a problem, but I do have a problem with this, like what it seems to be happening, really in all the spaces right now, which is coercion. It is basically, hey, it'd be terrible if something happened to your business, and if you don't pay me $500 a week, I'm going to burn it down. And
Okay, so I just want to be clear. So you heard or saw or like, what did you actually see or hear when it comes to the coercion?
While we're in Vegas, right?
Yeah.
Nothing is bad. Everything's good. Sarah's over here planning out next events with Sean and Dragonfish. She's like, we got these events coming up. He's like, you're gonna mod these things. She's like, organizing, typical whatever.
Yeah.
And Dragonfish all on board. Dragonfist even straight up told Sarah, at one point, and then he repeated it several times throughout. Well, never. I got y'all's back. Y'all been real with me from day one. You've never treated me wrong. Y'all are great. Well, then all of a sudden, I guess recently, and I've seen the chats when it was happening, he was talking about stuff, and Sarah goes, there's Andrew Wilson and then Andrew Dragonfist, and she goes, oh, my Andrew, and to clarify, she goes, our Andrew, my Andrew, just like I was like, oh, Wick, and if there's another guy named Wick, I'd be like, oh yeah, my
the good
Wick,
Wick, right?
Yeah, the good Wick, the Wick that we all know, the one that was hanging out with us, my Wick, right? Not
yeah,
Wick Wilson, right? And that's all it was. I mean, that's innocent. And then I guess Rachel went in there and was like, oh, she's saying my Andrew. And then, then he got all up into his feels. And then, you've already seen the messages that, we've been sent.
Yeah.
And it basically, I guess he was like, oh, if you don't want to work with Sarah, you're done. And like, I don't know why he's being like that, to be totally honest, because like, I've worked with Andrew. I've done a stream or two with Andrew. Never had a problem. I go on Sarah's all the time. Sarah got me on the Sean thing. I've been on yours a million times. I've done that. Like you could be professional in this. And like, I don't know why he's over here bowing down, because that's what it is. It's cuckery. It's cuckery if I've ever seen it, and coercion. Andrew.
So I just want to be clear. Did you when you were in Vegas and you? I mean,
yeah, there was
did you see any direct coercion?
No, not from Sarah, for sure. I mean,
not from Sarah. I'm talking about from Andrew Wilson towards.
No. All the coercion has occurred as soon as we got back. Like the minute we
Okay,
got
so this happened after the
Yeah.
Vegas trip.
But what I'm saying is he's set in these things about this coercion, all of this stuff that's happened since Vegas. He's like, oh, I'm Brian. I don't really want to be hanging out with the libs, and I don't want to hang out with this. And I'm like, okay, brother, no offense. Okay, and this is a right leaner. You're a left leaner, so just think the inverse of what I'm going to say. If my goal is to convert people, or I want to spread the message, and his message right now, and he made a whole 9-minute post that he took down off YouTube that I watched, and he posted about how he wants to take the fight to the left, and he wants to talk to lefties and get in their spaces. I'm like, well, brother, I hate to break it to you. Andrew is closing up shop around people saying, don't go to Sean's, don't go to these people, these are whatever. Sarah's going over there. I'm the one who introduced you to Wick. So what are you talking about when you're saying you want to talk lefties? If you want to go fight the lefties, that's what we're doing. Or if you want to go fight the righties, come fight us. We're here to talk. We want to have the combos. But then when you're going to sit here and say, oh, Andrew is saying don't do this. Listen, I don't have any issue with Andrew. Andrew can do what he wants. He's doing things that he thinks is best for him. But Andrew Dragonfist, listen, you have no excuse. There's an expression where I'm in Texas. It's come in on the horse that you rode in on. And it's pretty disgusting. These people didn't know who you were. And then Sarah goes out of her way to include you in this and get you on there. And the minute you take any flack, you fucking run like a little bitch. Like, damn, I did MMA and wrestling for 10 years. You started as an MMA channel. I don't know where they do that. That'd be like Conor McGregor calling me a bitch and slapping my wife or some shit, and then me going, oh, Conor, why don't you fuck her too? Like, that's crazy work. Like, I've never seen anything like this before.
Okay.
On the Run the Right side. It's really sad.
I'm gonna be real with you. I thought you had you overheard the conversation between.
No, I mean, I've seen the conversation. We had conversations about this issue at Vegas, though. Like,
Oh,
all of this
okay.
was like,
So what did Andrew Dragonfist tell you at Vegas about the Wilson pressure?
well, he was like, oh, yeah, I would never bow down. You've been real, Sarah. You've had my back from day one. Like that. I guess he was already maybe getting something. And he's like, whatever. But it wasn't this, I need to make considerations. I need to cut people off. And like I said, I don't have any problem with Andrew Wilson. I don't have any problem with Dragonfist. But like, I got to say, from an outsider who's worked with all these people and the lefties, this is pussy bullshit. Because you reassured us. He told us all this thing, yeah, bro, we're the new meta, we're rising, we're doing all these things. And then it's like you turn right around, you're like, oh,
okay. So he was feeling pressure then, in your opinion?
That's how it was implicated to me.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, I don't know.
Damn,
it's really sad.
That'd
be like, I just can't imagine these situations where imagine, you were mentioning the Destiny thing, right?
And I'll be real. I felt a lot of pressure from Destiny, from DGG to disassociate with Doobie, and I talked to Destiny about this, and it's on stream. You guys can watch. We had a conversation, and I said, "Hey, I'm not doing this, but if we're going to fix this problem, here's some alternate ways we can fix this problem." We had a discussion. Let me finish. We had a discussion. It was all public, and we fixed the issue. Then Doobie did his bullshit, and now that's a different situation. But
in addition to that, though, that's something that I can vouch for. Another thing that I can vouch for is, so I'm talking to Sean Kelly, and we're talking about My Event Friday. Check out GridCon Friday, guys. Anyway, and we're sitting here going, and I'm like, hey, Sean, you want to come down? We have a side room. I know you're talking about doing one-on-one interviews, etc. And he goes, oh, well, is Andrew going to be there? And I'm like, Dragonfist? He's like, no, Wilson. I go, I don't know why. He's maybe not. He goes, well, Andrew's blacklisted me. I'm worried I'm going to get kicked out of DebateCon, which is interesting.
Who said this?
This is what Sean Kelly said.
Sean Kelly, okay.
Yeah, and he's worried that he was like, well, I was like, well, I don't think you're going to get kicked out because it's whatever. But he's like, oh yeah, they hate me. And I'm like, why do they hate you? Oh, well, it's because I did interview Charlie. And I'm like, well, wait a minute. I'm the one who got interview Charlie to come join us in the debate space. So I feel like this is residually my fault again. And so I'm over here so I'm talking to Charlie, and it's like, yeah, Andrew's been on a kick of blacklisting people, and I'm like, well, this seems like another extension of that. Are we blacklisting people now, or are we having conversations about issues? So I can at least attest to that being something I saw. For sure.
So just so we're clear, your testimony is that Sean Kelly told you that he was worried that Andrew Wilson would blacklist him for talking to enemy Charlie.
Oh, it was more implicit than that. Yeah, it was basically, I'm not sure I can even go to DebateCon even though I've got tickets, because I'm sure that I get there, they're gonna
Okay, so he was pretty certain that he was going to get banned.
Yeah, and I was like, well, maybe I could get Grid or somebody to bridge the gap because they're your friends, and you did was an interview, and that did not work out at all.
So did he end up getting banned from DebateCon?
I have no idea. I haven't followed up on that, but I know that he's probably not going to the event now, is what I've been told. But he might. I'm hoping he does. So it's just like, at this point, you just did this thing with what I was it, LipCon or whatever the thing is you did.
Yeah, LipCon. Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, like imagine though, do you want to spend money and go to an event and then like get kicked out and like for an event?
No, that would have been horrific. I would have hated
right.
it.
Yeah, I would have been pissed. Right. So like I can feel like if you think it's a real possibility, not wanting to go and like not wanting to stir the pot if you're Sean. But yeah, like this like blacklisting shit.
Yeah, well, this is what's called a chilling effect, right? So you don't need to do it to everyone. You need to do it to a few people, and that creates a chilling effect. So people know, hey, if you do this, this is gonna happen to you, or it has a high probability of happening to you. So don't fucking do it. And you don't have to actually do it too often. So you pick a few, you make an example of them, and you go forward, right?
Well, I mean, and I get it from Wilson's perspective. Like, right, him and Sarah have a lawsuit and they're fighting. That's one thing. Okay, I get it from Andrew Wilson's perspective. However, I
get it from a strategic perspective. If you wanted to ice someone out that is your enemy, and you didn't have any moral qualms with deplatforming or banning people, yeah, sure. That's the way.
And I listen, and that's not what I would do personally, but if that's what he wants to do, sure, so be it. I think the issue and the bigger issue is more with how Dragonfist decided he's going to handle it. Like, if you why would you if you rode in with these homies, why would you slime them?
I don't know, man.
Crazy. I mean, I don't know, but I gotta go. I gotta.
Yeah, Gibbs, thanks for calling in, man.
You'll be good.
I appreciate you, man. Thanks for giving me your perspective. Damn, I didn't know it was that serious in the right-wing spaces. He's going around banning this Sean Kelly guy. Who's this Sean Kelly guy? I don't know him. I don't know anything about him. But just dropping people who embarrass Wilson like Enemy Charlie did. It's crazy. That's insane. No, I mean, like, if that's what he wants to do, but I think it's kind of bullshit. But hey, not my circus, not my monkeys. But it's fun to hear about, gang. It's fun to get the scoops. It's fun to learn. And we're learning today. $20 from Carpenter Tom. What is that? A cat emoji? Pussy bullshit? Is that what you're trying to say there? Fair enough. True. Yes. Andrew Wilson offered me $20,000 to go 3 rounds in a boxing ring with him. And I said yes. And I gave him a date. Like, let's do it. I forget what date I said, but it was like a couple years ago that this happened. And I was like, let's do it on this date. Nothing. He ghosted me, man. He ghosted me. Man, win or lose, I would have gotten $20,000. I would have fucking done that. Yeah, that would have every day. Twice on Sunday, 20,000, 20 grand? Hell yes. For 3 rounds? Okay. And I had the opportunity to punch that bitch in the face? Hell yeah. But whatever. He pussied out. It is what it is. It's still a funny story though. Now I have the story at least. Jay Strategism says, it has always been anything for the money with you. No, there's plenty of things I won't do for money. But $20,000 to punch Andrew Wilson in the face? Okay. Yes, I'll do that. Like, why do you guys lie so much? Jay Strategism. Why? Like, you understand how that's lying. What you're doing is a form of lying. It's dishonest. You're pretending I will do anything for money by using an example that isn't anything. It's a very clear example of I get to punch someone I don't like in the face for and they're going to give me $20,000 to do it. Like, of course I'll take that money. Right? Of course I'll do that. But then you do this lying thing. And this is why you guys are going to lose, by the way. That MAGA's losing on all fronts, that no one likes you, that everyone's abandoning you, that you're just unable and incapable of governing. It's because you guys are dishonest. You don't deal with reality. Me, I try my best to live in reality. And I make mistakes. I get things wrong, but we adjust, right? When you get something wrong, you're like, that wasn't the way. You make adjustments and you go forward. But it is what it is. Politics JK says, I'd do it for charity. No, I'd do it for me. If I'm gonna fight someone, I'm gonna get the money for me. Okay? I'm charity. Okay? Let Icarus says, you always punch a gift horse in the mouth. True. Jay Strazism says, you are losing this conversation. No, I'm fucking winning. This is another strategy that the Wilsonites do. They'll just claim victory while getting the shit beat out of them. Like it's like in Monty Python, the Holy Grail, the Black Knight, where he's like, it's just a flesh wound. And he's flailing on the ground like, come back here, I'll bite you on the ankles in his British accent. That's you. That's you, buddy. That's who you are. That's your whole movement. It's crazy. And once you see it, you can't unsee it, right? And it's this reliance on people to be low IQ and have no attention span. So you need both. So they have to be a little stupid to kind of go along with this grift. And they can't have a memory. They have to have a memory of a goldfish. They have to have a low attention span. They can't bring things in from before to what is now. It's those two conditions that are kind of necessary to be a Wilson fan. If you either have a good memory, even if you're low IQ, you're like, wait, you said one thing this time, you said another thing this time, you said a third thing this other time, all on the same subject. One of these subjects or one of these times, you must be telling a lie to me, at least one, right? So there's that. Also, if you have an IQ above, let's say 85, you have to recognize how these things don't actually follow one from another. Like the arguments that they're laying out do not actually follow. And there are simple questions or simple holes that one can poke in these things that just make it pop like a balloon. I believe in the scriptures, they talk about building on a foundation of sand. That's what Wilsonites do. They build on a foundation of sand. It cannot stand any sort of pushback, any sort of storm. That's why they only go and debate college e-girls on the whatever show, and they will very, very rarely take on anyone who embarrasses them or makes them look bad or beats them in a debate. It's why he's ran from Destiny several times, right? Same like with Hassan. Like they have to fight either on very, very niche specific grounds that they can't ever deviate from, or with college e-girls. That's it. That's it. And look, don't get me wrong. Hassan is the same way on the left. He's the same way on the left. Like, I'm not here just shitting on the right wing. The left wing has Hassan, who does the same thing. He cannot stand or take any pushback. He will run from anyone who can challenge him. In order to follow him, you have to have very low attention span, right? Because he often will say different things in different venues that contradict. Or you have to, hold on. I have to add a third thing to both of these things, a caveat. There are people who know it's bullshit, but want the same things, so they'll pretend. They know what Hassan's selling is bullshit, but they hate the Jews too, so they'll pretend. Same with Wilson. They know what he's selling is bullshit, but they too want power and glory and clout, and so they'll pretend. That's it. $5 from Kung Fu Joe says, that's not true, Wick. I beat everyone in your Discord until they needed to find a BS reason to get rid of me, LOL. Kung Fu Joe. You think you beat everyone in my Discord? Maybe. I don't know. I'll let other people be the judge of that. Virus Fitia says, what is that figurine is in the background? I'm still pretty new around here, so I'm just curious. Oh, my nephew got me this for Christmas a few years ago, right? It's a Transformer of some sort. I don't know which one. We've checked it before, but I forget. It's merely here because I love my nephew, and it's a way to feel close to my nephew who got it for me. That's it. Right? It's just nice. Something to, like a little Easter egg, if you will. Anyway, that's what we got. Tomorrow, we are having a show with Zug, who I met at LibCon. She was really nice. We hung out, and she's going to do a call-in show with me. We're going to talk about the harassment that women receive in this space from people like J-Stalk, Mrau, others in that community. They called her rape meat, gang. Pretty fucking crazy. The amount of stalking that they engage in, the amount of harassment that they engaged in, especially towards the women, towards Stardust and Zoog specifically, was gross. And it's going to be a call-in show, so if you have problems with anything I'm saying or anything that she said or done, or if you disagree with us, or even if you just want to, I don't know, say hello, it's going to be open to call-ins. But yeah, you should check us out tomorrow, 6 p.m. Thank you for the cash. Thank you for the views. I appreciate all of you, and I will see you tomorrow, I think, pretty sure 6 p.m. Eastern. Okay? I love you.